up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality. Period. I'm your host, Pharaoh.
Oh,
We're joined by our wonderful co-host, Lee. Lee, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm
Bitch.
doing swell. Week 2 of BB2.
You fucking with it?
I mean, honestly, episode 6 of Big Brother 2 gotta be one of the best episodes of Big Brother ever.
Ah, that's a bold statement. You standing behind me?
I just feel like it was just the embodiment of what Big Brother should be. Like, we keep talking about how the editing and the production style is just more relaxed and just different. And I feel like episode 6 is really the embodiment of that. Like, embodiment of that. Like, and I feel like just in general, like the way we get like these individual just like analyzing of the players within the game, their position, and other people's opinion on them, like they do a good job of doing that. And I feel like an excuse that they use for not being able to do it would be a competition. Because, like, for example, the episode 6 episode is usually a veto episode, but there is no veto. However, in general, you don't have to spend majority of the episode on the veto competition. And then in the new era BB, they'll spend forever on that, and then they'll give us these random quotations, funny moments that no one really gives a fuck about. I want to know how everyone is in the game, and I just feel like what they're so good at showing is everyone's position, everyone's thoughts on everyone, and it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel just so put up and so like gimmicky. Like, I just watching this, I just feel like, wow, new era editing and how they produce it is just so
It is. And like when it comes to, you're right, because when it comes to the gimmicks they do nowadays, those could be character moments. I remember the moment where JC and Fessy and Big Brother 20, they had a relationship, like a weird kind of relationship, friendship, and they made it into this, he's big and JC's small, and that's what it's about. But really, they could have made that way more about the strategy behind it. The fact that JC was playing in this man's face, or the fact that Fessy had a relationship with someone on the other side. Like, I feel like what they do in these older seasons is when it is something that can be funny, they make it into something that's a strategic, actually. So with like Monica, for example, they had a whole segment about Monica this week, and there was moments in there where Monica was just being funny. But it's like those moments are literally like those can be funny, and it can also show that Monica is a good player at the same time, or it can show that Monica is actually playing the game. And I feel like they need to learn how to do both at the same time in the new era, rather than just making it a gimmick and that's it, because it's not. Like, please. But yeah.
Yeah, we like, I don't know, like it's just it makes me sad. It really does.
Now I'm getting sad, right?
They had such. I just feel like they had such a good product, and like instead of like continuing it, and I don't know. I just wonder why they declined in this way. Why did they make it so kiddie, so watered down? Like, why are we not learning about each individual person? Like, I don't know. Maybe the cast needs to be smaller for real. Like, I was never a fan of the idea of a smaller cast. But now I'm like, I don't know, bring it back down to 12, 14 people. Because I want to know these people, not just by having to watch the feeds. Like, the reason why I feel like people are not watching the edited show anymore is because it's not giving you anything. Like, if you're watching only the edited show for Big Brother, you're not watching Big Brother. I don't know what you're watching, literally. But you're not watching Big Brother.
I feel like I would prefer
the accurate house dynamics, and that's what it is. Like, what New Age Big Brother does is they create a narrative, and that's what they show. Whether the narrative is true or not, that is what New Big Brother does. And I just feel like in these seasons, you know, it's just so much more authentic. Like, it just in every single way.
Yeah, it is. I feel like with the newer seasons, I just wish, because when it comes to the size of the cast, it being 16 people, maybe that is the problem. Maybe it just needs to be 14 again. When they were doing 14 people, I think that was like a sweet spot. But even then, the editing is like, I think it's an editing problem, because the main like positive of Big Brother 2 is the fact that they're editing specific things in the episode that show us character moments or it shows us strategic moments about these people. And I just need that in the new era. But I'm gonna just get sad if we keep going on. So I'm gonna just leave it at that because it's annoying. It's annoying because I like these. I like some of the new players, but I feel like we don't get enough. I feel like even though we watched 100 episodes of BB25, we didn't get enough information about them at all. Versus this season, which is only the episodes. We don't even get the live feeds, and I still feel like I know these people better than the people over there. It's like, I don't even make no sense now.
Yeah, like someone like the first boot, like Cheryl, like we know so much more about her than like any first boot ever. Like I don't remember shit about Travis.
This is so true. It's like they don't trust the cast to be interesting. That's what it is. They don't trust their cast anymore. They're trying to rely on the competitions and they're trying to rely on like the gimmicky edit.
And then the out there personalities. Like we're gonna get the country bumpkin from
his name's Red, her name's Blue. Like that's basically all the reason they was casted. And it's like, that's it. Please be serious. I just can't.
Which is so crazy. It's like literally Will Kirby is like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like literally as he progresses, it becomes more gimmicky with him in general. Like the whole Dr. Will shtick, like that's not a thing in BB2. Like it's not like this whole like, I don't know. It's just like they made it into like this personality type, this archetype.
Yeah, they become
and BB2, he's not Dr. Will, this evil mastermind genius. He's like Dr. Will,
just a person. He's a human. In these older seasons, they're just people playing a game, and on newer seasons, these are characters who are put into this house to like all of that. And it's like, baby, just why can't it just be people playing the game? Let's go back to just regular people playing the game. But hey, we move. So, boom, we start this week 2 off, and Chilltown was just blindsided by the house. They thought Cheryl was staying, and she was not, bitch. Cheryl went home. It was 5-3, and they're shook going into this next week. They mad about it. Honestly, after the vote, they're mad. They're angry. They're upset. They're all feeling like they're kind of against the rest of the house, which they are. Mm-hmm. And we see kind of the tea about the vote because Shannon has a diary room, and she says, I know for a fact that the people who voted with us was me, Mike, and Krista. Period.
And she's wrong.
It was not.
It was Monica. And what I find very interesting is that Monica ain't telling nobody about that vote at all. Like,
what do you think of that decision, though? Do you think, because what do you think of it first? And then
I don't know. I just feel like in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe she should have told them so she can gain their trust, because in general, everyone likes Monica. But what I feel like is going to be, or potentially an issue, I'm not really sure. We see it in New Age Big Brother. When someone doesn't have like those like unbreakable bonds, even though you're socially good with everyone, you can still be targeted because people aren't sure where you are in the game. Like a recent example of that literally would be Mimi. It was like she was someone that was good with everyone, but it came to a point where it's like, but who are you actually with? Who are you actually going to argue with me? And that's something what they kind of mentioned a little bit with Monica. Like, we don't really know where her head is at. And the fact that she literally voted with them, that's something that she can use. However, this is Big Brother 2. So I just feel like that is an example of something where it's like, I'm not going to knock her for, because it's like she voted how she wanted to vote. That's what it was, period. Like, there's nothing else to it.
And like putting myself in a Big Brother 2 mindset where the game is like becoming, I'm thinking if I was her, I probably wouldn't want to say anything, because if I'm just thinking BB2 level, if I tell people I didn't vote with the majority of the house is gonna be like, you didn't vote with us? That's weird. So maybe I should just shut up and mind my business. So honestly, thinking on that level of it all, I can see why she just wouldn't even say it, because it's like they're gonna be mad.
Like clearly, anyway. And then also Nicole's still in the game, and Nicole is running the game. So are you gonna just openly say I voted against Nicole? Hell no. Monica knows what she's doing.
So from where, like, from the and even like in another thing about strategy is in new seasons, you can trust that if you tell someone you voted with them, that they might not do too much with that information to hurt you because you voted with them. But in older seasons, I mean, she could tell Chilltown that, and Chilltown could just say whatever. They could just mention it. And it's like, girl, it's not even worth it. So honestly, I'm not mad at her for not saying that. I don't think it affected her. I don't think it's gonna affect her too much. So that's that. Autumn is sad because she feels like people have been playing with her.
Yeah.
And there's like a situation that occurred on, I guess, the day they were all drunk. And Mike and Autumn apparently were canoodling and getting together and flirting. And then they ended up in the bed and they were trying to do stuff. And comes to find out, what happened was Chilltown created a plan. And the plan was to get Autumn's vote last week. Mike was going to seduce her, basically, into getting their vote. And Autumn found out about this plan, and Autumn like drug Mike along to see how far he would take it, and he took it all the way, and she was mad about it, basically. I don't know. It's an interesting plan. It's interesting.
It's interesting that they like showed it as well, because it's like they would not air this at all. On a new,
not at all. This would be hidden. The feed wouldn't even be on during the occurrence.
Because she's basically accusing him of sexual assault.
Yeah. He tried to sleep with her to get her vote, and it's like, that's kind of crazy. And he felt like she would do it because I guess she's in like a weaker state of mind in the house. People feel so he felt like she would do it, and it's like, that's kind of fucked up too, isn't it? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was weird. We also see we also see with the situation that happened, Autumn and Shannon have been beefing. They've been beefing for a while, a little bit. They had a tiffle on the first couple of episodes. And we kind of see how Hardy is feeling about the Chilltown's treatment of Autumn. He's feeling like that Chilltown is basically being me and Autumn because Autumn's the weakest. She's the weakest of them all. She's just a little gazelle. And Hardy's kind of like, I'm the good guy. So I guess when Hardy thinks of Chilltown, he just thinks, oh, they're villains and they're evil and whoop. And Hardy kind of has the same energy throughout this entire time about how the Chilltown is just being so mean and they're trying to pick on Autumn because she's just a gazelle and I would never do something like that.
And it's so weird because like,
meanwhile, you in a diary room
who talks about Autumn in the diary room is Hardy. And like that's like the biggest thing that like really just like annoyed me throughout these episodes is just that like he is really judgmental. Like he sits in that diary room and goes in. And it's like you're sitting here trying to judge all of these people, but look how you acted, baby. Like, and this whole idea of like, oh, he's protecting Autumn and he's protecting the group to go after these bad guys and whoop. And then you're literally campaigning for her to go home this week.
Mm-hmm. And like, please. Hardy reminds me, I can't even like pick some, like Jack. He kind of reminds me of Jack, which is so bad because Jack is a terrible person for BB21. But it's like the concept of I'm better than, like, it's like this whole, it's like a God complex almost. But also he tries to claim that he's the good guy. And Hardy's very confusing because he's like an in-betweener between low-key not being the good guy because you're mean and rude for no reason, but also he wants to be. And I think it's because Chilltown is so mean and Hardy's not on that side, he gets like the luxury of being against this whole everyone hates these people in the house and they're all rude. But if they weren't rude and mean, he would kind of be rude to me, honestly. Like the things he says about Autumn is crazy for no fucking reason. And meanwhile, she thinks that's her friend. She thinks that's her friend. And it's like he pretends to be her friend because in this next scene, him and Kent are like confronting Shannon about the bag of chips situation where she put her on Autumn bed and basically calling her out for that and saying it was rude. But it's like, I mean, you saying this and then you dragging Autumn in the living room. Like, I don't know. He's confusing. He's a very confusing person. But hey, we move. Child. What they say? It's a classic example of we're the good guys and they're the bad minds. It really is. This happens every season, and it gets annoying. Where people think, we're the nice people.
Mm-hmm. They literally call themselves the Good People Alliance, and then they're the Chilltown, the Brat Pack.
And it's like, are you good? I don't know.
They really not.
But they're not, and that's the issue. So, boom, we get to the HOH competition, and it's like trivia about the house guests. Like, you're just asking them questions about the other house guests. And this competition ends up coming down to Krista and Nicole. It's a tiebreaker, and Krista ends up winning the head of household. Krista, Bunky, and Nicole. Krista ends up winning the HOH, and Krista's the new HOH. That is mother, but How do you feel about Krista winning this HOH, considering her position in the house? She just Chilltown thinks that she voted with them. I don't know. How you feeling?
I mean, yeah, and she kind of says it by the end of this week when she's talking to Julia. Like, this was not the week for her to win. The type of game she's playing, when you're playing this both sides, you have deals with each of them and things like that. You really shouldn't be taking any power because there's not many people that you can nominate. I feel
Yeah.
like for her to win, she made pretty great nominations because I feel like she leaves this week unscathed. Like, it's something that I feel like could have potential lasting effects because they were expecting for Will or someone in Chilltown to go up, and she did not do that. I could
Mm-hmm.
see it being something that comes up later, but at the same time, no one is talking about targeting her after this. You know what I mean? I think she did what was best with the power she had, and
Yeah.
also this is something where it's like it's BB2. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, the concept of throwing HOHs and things like that. I don't really think that's too much a part of the game. Like, she was just out there playing, and then she won.
Yeah. Yeah. It don't even exist. Like, it's not even a thing yet. No one has done that before. Like, this is the second HOH. This competition just came to be last week. So yeah, I feel the same way, honestly.
But I
But
love
what
immediately how she I feel like handles it though. What were you
yeah,
gonna
I
say?
was just gonna say, like, she starts having one-on-one. Like
Yes, it's
one-on-one.
giving Krista the game changer, bitch. Like moments like this, it's so fun because it's like really seeing like how this game was built because this is now a common thing. Well, if you're smart, I feel like one on ones is like, why? I don't want to say that, but I just like it is really that's something I would do. Like, I've always thought that. I was like, if I were to win HOH, I would definitely have one on one with every single person.
Mm-hmm.
Through their minds,
Definitely.
seeing what they're willing to offer, seeing what their thought is. And she kind of just
Mm-hmm.
goes around the house asking people, who would they put up if they won HOH? Like, literally, like the quintessential question. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
everyone asks that now, and a lot of people choose not to answer. But what I've noticed about, especially this season, I'm sure that changes as the game of Big Brother grows, but they're completely honest. Like,
They
I feel
are.
like no one at all is hiding anything. And it's like, honest, like, because even in New Age BB, people don't really tell a bold faced lie, but what they do is they withhold information. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
people are rarely even withhold information. Like, they
Yeah.
don't, like, they're really just talking to each other. So I feel like that's really interesting. The fact that, like, everyone answered, because in New Age BB, we'll see, like, a lie, or we'll see, like, I don't really know because I didn't think about it, some bullshit. Like, all of
Mm-hmm.
them gave the answer.
Did. And that's the thing. What's interesting about this is that even in New Era, every HOH doesn't have one-on-ones. There's some HOHs who sit there looking stupid all week. Like
Yeah.
Daniel from BB24. He just sat there. And it's like the fact that Krista was smart enough to do like what's now considered like just a normal smart person strategy. For her to do it in BB2, it's like, girl, you ate that up. Like, you really thought of this, huh? She's a
I
game
will.
changer in every way. First
Another,
floater, first one-on-ones, like, and I feel like it shows, like, comparing her HOH to Mike, it shows, the caliber of gameplay. I feel the difference because Mike's was totally unsuccessful, and then hers
yeah.
was very successful. Honestly, even though
Yeah, she picked the
she
target
went
from the
against
beginning
that
and
thing.
got him out.
Mike went with the house idea, which was hate Nicole, and he didn't even get what he wanted. She went against the grain and got what she wanted,
And then
and came out unscathed.
exactly, he left as the house pariah, and she left still in a great position. So it's
And it's
like,
like that,
well,
like it really shows the duality. It
when
shows the
your mother,
duality. After this, we get the food competition. Food competition is everyone has to like write down their body weight and try to guess what it is, and then they're gonna weigh in to see which team is more accurate. Is girls versus boys, and the boys end up winning this. This was weird. Why are you having them weigh themselves? Glad they don't do this no more. Like, this really shows me like old school TV, and like even when you go back and watch old school reality TV, any reality TV show, America's Next Top Model, she have them people changing races. It's just anything, and it's like you really see like society used to just be so like careless about being sensitive. Like, this is just very very weird. And then Autumn was just getting into arguments about like literally the same topics. Ugh, that was weird. But hey, we move along. This is when we get the Chilltown apology tour, bitch. Chilltown is has came to the conclusion that one, Nicole is mother, of course, and two, they need to stop being mean. So they're going to pretend to apologize to everybody and be regretful about the way they've acted. And basically, that's what they go do. Will talks to Mother Nicole. Of course, you go to Mother Nicole first. apologized to the queen first. He apologizes to her. He said he misjudged her. He shouldn't do that. Whoop with the whoop. Shannon goes apologize to Hardy them. Just literally, Mike goes apologize to Nicole, of course, mother.
What I find hilarious about Hardy with Shannon and Hardy is that she went up to who was it? Oh, not Hardy, with Kent. Was it in this
When she
scene?
did what?
When she goes up to Kent and she's like, I mean, everyone's telling me that you hate me.
Oh, that's later. But she does ask Hardy. What does she ask Hardy? Oh, she asked Hardy. She's like, "Why is there beef? Why do I feel like that's kind of
it's like the way she approaches it is very like, what do we?
You can tell Shannon's the type of person in real life who doesn't apologize, and when she's forced to, she doesn't know what to say. And this is what this feels like. She's struggling to like apologize. So instead, she's like,
is
well,
there an issue?
Like there's an issue.
I mean, I've never done anything that I feel
and it's like, girl, not why is there an issue? What are you talking about? So Shannon don't know how to apologize, but hey, and that's the thing. The other people or the real people, I feel like they're just like, this is bullshit. Okay?
Yeah.
Like now y'all want to apologize? Please.
It's very secret, and I think what we see like Will does is that he just continues to do it through Nicole. Because he knows who the fuck Mother is.
Who Mother is.
And I mean, we don't get it in the episodes too much. It doesn't seem like Mike and Shannon, especially Shannon. Shannon is just, like you said, she barely apologized from the beginning. And we're going to see as this week progresses, Shannon just starts to piss people off more and more. Mike, in general, like, we don't get too many scenes of him, like, actively trying to, like, apologize. But I feel like Will, we get a lot of segments of him talking to Nicole. And he knows Nicole hates him. Nicole knows he hates her. But, like, he is, like, forcing that relationship. So it's like, it really starts to work.
Yeah, it does. I like this strategy. It's like, it's weird because, first of all, it's natural to Will. He doesn't have any precedent. Like, he's just coming up with this. But it's like, it's something that I feel like the best players are able to do in the future is they're able to kind of work with an enemy or work with someone who you used to not like or just talk to someone, because a lot of times in Big Brother what happens is if people start beefing, they beefing forever, and it's like that's not good for Big Brother. And Big Brother, you have to work with people who you was beefing with last week or people who you really just don't want to work with. And the fact that Will is like throwing himself at Nicole, knowing that she don't like him and he don't like her, it's like, that's smart.
And that's a thought that I had, because like, think about it, like, you get this less, you still see it, but you get it less of the people who are like, I'm not here to kiss ass. I'm here to be me. I'm not here to play. You know what I mean? In old school BB, because like just the idea of being on reality TV, it wasn't so what it is now. Like in this game, it's not established. Like you get more people who are just like, well, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to act this way. I'm not going to pretend to be like this. And it's like, you're playing a game. You have to pretend. And it's like someone like Nicole. Nicole is, I think, a very interesting player. Honestly, like, I was gonna say Vanessa coded, but is Vanessa Nicole coded? Or like more like
right, this is Origin. She's not nobody coded. She's her.
She, literally, or like more like a Christy, where it's like I feel like
she
definitely plays the game, but she acts like she's like, well, I don't know if she acts like, but she definitely feels like she still has this moral high ground that she maintains, because that's what Nicole did. Nicole didn't like those people week one, but when she got nominated, she realized I have to stay, and she went to work. Will, he's in the minority, he goes to work. It's like, or it's like someone like Krista, like she's not in danger, but she doesn't like everyone in that game. She probably would choose a side if she wants to, but she's playing fake with everybody. Like you to do good, I feel like, especially in these earlier seasons, you have to play the game. And playing the game is playing people, talking to people that you're not normally would talk to, making a relationship with people who could protect you in the game. Like these are the people who are really showing us what Big Brother needs to be.
And something that stays consistent, I feel like, throughout the entirety of Big Brother is if you play the game, and it gets shown very clearly in these early seasons, that if you just play, regardless, you're going to make it far. Look at the final two. The two people who, in my opinion, are doing probably the most. And Krista is probably up there with them, but one of them had to take her out. No, spoiler alert. This ain't no damn spoiler. This came out in 2000. And then if you fast forward to future seasons, like the people who, it's harder in future seasons because there's more people and there's more meta to the game, and playing hard in BB25 versus playing hard in BB2, it's not going to give you the same result. But in these early seasons, I like the final two or the final three is always the people who have been putting in a lot of effort strategically. So I just feel like that just shows if you go in that game, you got to get to playing, bitch. Period.
I feel like definitely because I've watched 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm watching this one now. I haven't really
Mm-hmm.
watched 3 like that, so 3 is going to be an experience. But I feel like the game really started picking up BB5.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a
it
lot
did.
of them were very involved in like
The meta
what Big
had
Brother
started
is.
coming. The meta started forming for sure. Like
Exactly.
by BB5, it was kind of like there's norms set. There's norms of Big Brother. Like they were able to reference like things and then build on those references, like build
Exactly.
on the veto and build on backdooring people. Like they started creating strategies in BB5.
Exactly.
Like started creating like strategies to game the game type shit. While in these other first 4 seasons, these first 3 seasons, because really it's BB2, BB3, BB4, they're like kind of finding the footing of what Big Brother is. And then
Mhm.
5 and 6, I think it's starting to form into the actual thing. And then we have All Stars. And it's like
They
now we have
really
the
bust
game.
the door open
As
right there.
as soon as we had the game, boom, All Stars. And now this
And they really brought
BB7
like
is
the
like
perfect
Big
people back for
Brother.
that, I feel.
They did, and it was like a good mixture of like you were like a leader of an alliance, even though your alliance didn't do good, or you were just great at competitions, or you were always hated, or you were strategic. Very good mixture of people. BB7 is like the core of what Big Brother is, low key. Like when we get there, that's gonna be fun. So boom, everybody goes to sleep, and Krista talks to Monica. And you know what's interesting
The
about
big
this?
two.
There's a duality to this in like future Big Brother. Like in Future Big Brother, they do one-on-ones, and then at the end of all the one-on-ones, they talk to their closest ally. That
Mhm.
always happens. And it's like Krista did the same thing. Like she did one-on-ones, and then she ended up talking to Monica about the real shit. She tells Monica everybody wants to put up Will. And then Chilltown kind of mentioned Hardy, but I'm thinking maybe I could put up Hardy and one of Chilltown, or maybe I could just put up Hardy and Autumn and blow the shit up. And Monica
And
was like, "You
Monica
do that?"
said, "No,
She
ma'am.
said,
I'll be out
"Oh,"
doing
she
this."
said, "Slow your roll, please."
She
Like
said, "Your
Krista,
ass gonna be out next if you do that."
Krista was going for. I don't know what Krista was going for, but she was throwing anything out there. Monica was like, hold on, not
But it's
Hardy
it's
now.
very clear, which is so interesting because Krista, one of her first few diary rooms last week was her saying, "If I win HOH, I'm putting Will up." But we're
Mm-hmm.
really seeing like now that she's faced with that opportunity, she's realizing it's very clear that she's recognizing like the game board, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you have these two sides. Why are you taking out the biggest target in the game right now? For what?
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine that she's thinking. Or she actually says throughout the week, Will can't win anymore. Will has pissed everyone off. No one likes Chilltown at all.
Yeah.
Basically, what we hear people say, why would I do their dirty work? She has a good relationship with Chilltown. They think she running with them. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure there were conversations about them being like, yeah, so you want to do that stuff? So she's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's so interesting that like you're right. Like she got everyone's opinion, and she was like, well, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Period. So I guess the way Krista was kind of moving kind of tipped people off, or at least Mother Nicole, because Nicole tells her group that we need to prepare ourselves for the fact that maybe 2 of us are getting nominated. She's not confident that Chilltown will get nominated,
Nicole
even though
ass was
that's what they.
offering herself. She was like, girl, put me up.
She was.
I'll send that man home. I want Will out.
Period. So boom, Mike is telling Shannon that they need to make sure Krista basically doesn't nominate us and knows that Will is gonna be a target for the other side, and that the other side, and that Will will target the other side to try to basically convince her to not put up Will because he's gonna be a big target. And we see by the end of the episode, Krista ends up nominating. First of all, why the nomination ceremony? She's in her towel. She's in a towel. She got a towel around her head, sunglasses on, hair still wet, dripping water.
I
I'm
love
like,
it. I just love it because,
what?
like, honestly, like the ceremonies is part of the gimmicks. I'm over. Like, I don't like. I wish it was more relaxed. Like, we see them get up. Okay, come on, y'all. This is the nomination ceremony.
Let's go.
I'm putting y'all up. What about it?
Period. And
And
that's
they're
basically
so
what she said.
forward in their speeches. Like Mike went in on Nicole and basically said, "Her, well, I want you out." And here go Krista going in on Autumn. Well, Autumn,
Yeah.
baby, I don't think you're strong for this game. I don't think you're cut out for this game. I don't think you belong in this house.
Yep.
And it's just like a whole. It's like she really goes in, and it's like not like I don't think rudely, but it's just like it's so
She's not
obvious.
trying to be rude, but it's like she kind of is.
It's kind of it can be taken as rude.
But I don't think Autumn took it that bad. So I think
No.
what's good about Krista. Like she nominated Kent and Autumn, but they wasn't like too mad at her. Like it really, I don't think it's gonna come back on her at all. And it was like you ate that up, I'll give you that.
But and that's why I think it will, because it's like they're not too mad at her, but it's like it could come back. It could, like, if Kent were to win an HOH or something, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, he could just return the favor.
That's the only thing, like, because that's what you have to do with this photo strategy. I think that's something that like June and Allison really showed when they played it, and kind of like, you know, June perfected it. It's like you can't like do these moves and not have a solid relationship with the sides that you're doing it with. And I think she has a great relationship with Chilltown. I just don't think her connections with the good people are that good.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. They all slightly got her clocked, I feel. Yeah, but they're not talking mess about her or anything like that. I don't think they're going to target her, but like I feel like it could come back on her.
Yeah, it could. So after this, Mike is excited that him and Chilltown didn't get nommed. He like celebrates it.
He does his little lame ass rap because he thinks he's motherfucking Eminem. I don't know.
Will basically says he knows he's on borrowed time. He's basically, what Will needs to do is use this week to his utmost, and he kind of knows it. He's like, look, I'm on borrowed time, and I could go home next week, so let me get to it. And it's like, okay, period.
This is actually the most hilarious thing. I laughed out loud when I saw this. The pictures on the wall are in frames. I was thinking at first, do they like take it out and put it in the black and white one? It's so cute.
Yeah, but I feel like with keys hanging below it.
That's what's so interesting though, because like the fact that there's no veto, like there's no chance of a backdoor. Like Chilltown is safe. Now that Chilltown is not up, that's it. That's literally it. That's such an interesting concept. But that is what's crazy. Like, and he definitely goes to work because, I mean, we just like Nicole was willing to go on the block to send Will home, and we know what Will placement is. Mm-hmm. You know, and so it's like it's interesting the way that he was really able to change people's mind. I can't wait till we really start seeing it, because we're definitely getting the building blocks of it now, and he's starting with Nicole like a smart bitch. Like he really knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Krista kind of explains to us why she didn't put up Will. She says he's not a threat to win, and I think at this point it's right. It's kind of like in BB19 when everybody was targeting Jess and Cody. If you wasn't directly being targeted by Jess and Cody, it's probably not that smart for you to take them out because they're not a threat to win. They're never going to win the game. Or just any like person who's being targeted by the entire house. If you an HOH and they're not targeting you, there's no reason for you to really take them out. And I think Krista kind of had that mindset. Like, there's no real reason for me to take out Will. Nobody likes him. Everyone's going to take him out. And he can't beat me at the end, allegedly. She didn't know. So I see what she was thinking, honestly. I really do see what she was thinking. I like her thinking because it's like, even if it's not perfect, it's so much more than what anybody else is really working on in this house. Like, she's on a higher level, bitch. Like, she's transcendent, period. Period. Kent and Bunky kind of talk about Krista and the noms. They kind of feel like she's going to float with wherever she needs to go. They're kind of like mentioning that she might ride with Chilltown here and there, but that's the thing. It's like they mentioned this once, and it's like it don't get brought up no more. So,
but that's mainly on the episodes. So we don't have too much of the archives to know how much they like sat and talked
about it. Yeah, that's true. Boom. After this, we get Krista kind of talking about Autumn and Autumn's stability. She feels like Autumn isn't that stable. She's kind of going to be the weakest in the house. And she's doing more damage to herself staying here. She kind of said this in the speech as well. And then we kind of see flashbacks of Autumn, seeming a little bit that. Because that's the thing. It does seem like, and Autumn admits it. Autumn says herself, she does feel like she was losing herself in the house a little bit. Like she was getting angry about a lot of stuff. She was like missing her son. She was crying about it and stuff. So it's like, it was a lot of stuff going on. So, and she don't want to take that back to her kid. So it's like Autumn's nom now, and now she's mentioning how she doesn't really want to be this angry person, and she feels like the house is changing her. So we're already getting glimpses of like Autumn feeling like she might not want to be there. And it's like, okay, girl, step it up, get to it. Period.
In general, no, it's fine. Just go.
Boom. Autumn has a diary room. She talks about how she's emotional and she doesn't want to get hurt. And there's flashing back to the fight with her and Mike, and there was a fight with her and Mike, and he calls her out for all of the him pretending to be with her situation, and when or him pretending to try to get with her during that situation, and he calls her. He says that she was saying that she's not the pretty girl, and that if there was black people in the house, the black guys would want to get with her, and none of the guys want to get with her, and they're basically arguing about it. And Adam was like wondering, like, what does this have to do with it? What does that have to do with it? And that's
That
what
is
Mike
such a
kind of
weird
are.
comment. Like,
And
oh
it's
my,
like that was weird.
I
And
feel
it's
like
like,
I think it's definitely because it's a sign of the times for sure. But Mike does this a lot. It's like it's definitely like white person in 2024 using AAVE. It's just very like okay, he's
it was
one of
like
those.
you said if there was a black guy in the house, you would that he would get with you too. And it's like, first of all, she spilled probably. Um, one. Secondly, I mean, what? Why did you even mention it?
Bringing that
Like,
up,
like
and that's
why
what
did
she asked that too.
that's in the back of his mind. I mean, that's sitting in the back of his mind. And it's like, okay, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So Mike has a diary room. He talks about how Autumn seems like she's given up, and at this moment, Mike kind of wants to vote out Autumn, but we'll see how that goes. Period. We see later on Kent's kind of point of view of being nominated. Kent is sad. He's not feeling good. He asked Autumn to get out of his face because she was in his face. He wants to be alone. But eventually we see Krista telling Nicole that she doesn't really want Ken out of the game. And then that's when she goes over to talk to Ken about it. And Ken basically tells Krista that he knew he was going up. He knew all that everything that was happening, but Krista lets her know that her target was off. So Krista wants Autumn out. She doesn't want Ken to go. So even though Kent's feeling sad, it seemed like Krista's gonna push for Autumn to go. And we hear like that's kind of what she does, but it is not really like in new seasons when the HOH wants someone out. It's kind of like everyone's like, okay, the HOH wants them out. We got to take them out. That energy isn't really here. Like it's not set in stone. Autumn's going just because Krista wants Autumn to go. And I feel like it's kind of weird to watch because
like
usually
no set group that she can confirm to do that at all. Like
yeah,
sometimes like there is like a alliance with a name with a certain amount of people. Like we know we have these votes solidified, but that's not necessarily what's happening here. She nominated two people that no one mentioned as nominations or who they wanted out. So it's like you don't know.
And they kind of got to figure it out. And so that's kind of what's happening because Hardy's group, Hardy and the real people, they are kind of working with both Autumn and Ken. So their dilemma is which one of them do we need to vote out? And Hardy has a very strong opinion about it because he feels like this isn't going to be good for Autumn, and Autumn is not in her right state of mind, and she really, really needs to go, and she can't handle the heat, and she can't handle this pressure anymore, and we need to be the great people we are and make sure she gets the fuck out of here. So that's how Hardy feels.
And I think with Hardy, it's very clear that he's really just annoyed by her, which is fine. Everyone's annoyed by her, but it's like, this is something where it's like, I feel like I can't knock it too much because it's literally Big Brother 2, but it's like, the fact that he's pushing away a number, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's very clear that Autumn, out of anyone in that game, will be most loyal to Hardy. And I think because he just wants out of his face, he's like, well, this is the perfect time to get her out.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting is
like throughout this entire week, they're talking about how she is emotional and how she is weak and that she's not this dangerous player. And it's like, why would you go to someone else? Like, why would you vote her out? It doesn't make any sense.
And she seems closer to them. She seems closer to them. Like during a lot of these scenes, they're talking about voting Autumn. Sometimes she's there with them. She's literally in the room hanging out with Bunky, Nicole, and Hardy. And Hardy's mentioning how he wants to vote her out. And it's like, she's always with these people. Like, she's with them more than Ken is. Ken is kind of a lone soldier. Ken is what some people might call a wild card. So it's like, sure, right now Ken's working with you, but Autumn is always going to be working with you, regardless. Autumn is not going to win an HOH later down the line and be like, let me put up Hardy and Nicole. She's not doing it. Ken might. So honestly, like strategically, they should just vote out Ken, I fear. But they're not thinking on it. It's like that.
Because like he uses like Hardy's in the diary room, trashing her for the 15th time, and he's like, she's emotional, she's needy, and like when they have to nurture her, it takes away from the overall group. And it's like I also like so we don't have like the archive like footage to know with this season because it's so old. But in general, like I just feel like it couldn't have been that damn bad. Like calm down.
Y'all are dramatic. So Hardy's pretty much the main one pushing the narrative. We see Bunky and Nicole kind of want to give her a sympathy vote with this. They don't want to just vote her out unanimously because that's their friend and they're working with her, so they probably should just keep her. But at this point, Hardy's the main one who wants
Like
it,
if you
and
want
they're
to give
kind
her a whole sympathy vote because you love her that much, they keep her in the fucking game. Because that's the thing.
of
It's
keeping her.
like she says with Julie, like she was kind of like giving up, so to speak. But like in general, we saw like the conversations. We saw her socializing with people, like fighting with Mike and then socializing with him. Like I don't think she necessarily wanted to be out of the game, but it was just weird how her allies kind of just like spoke for her and
Shoot
just
her
like
away.
saying like, "Oh, she's too weak to be here. She's not strong enough." And it's like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and that annoyed her.
Well,
She
they're
didn't like
like,
being spoke for by Hardy. Like she's kind of trying to campaign, and the whole time Hardy's like, I just don't think you should be here. It's probably not for you. It's probably
literally,
not the best thing. And he just really, really wanted her out. And I really think Hardy's influence is what caused Autumn to go like for real because Nicole was wavering. Bunky didn't really want to do it anyways. So I feel like if it was just a situation where Hardy wasn't there or Hardy didn't care, Nicole and Bunky probably would have been like, well, we want her here anyways. Why are we not just keeping her? But Hardy like was really strong on his opinion about it, and it's like, okay. After this, we get a montage of how Hardy is the best person in the house. Everyone loves him. Kent says that's his favorite person in the house. Everyone says they think he was going to be conceited, but he's not really. Krista says he's beautiful. We stand in Hardy, and it's like we get it. He's the fine white man that's going to make it to the end of the game. Congratulations. I was thinking, I was like, honestly, I'm surprised, and I said it. I'm surprised Hardy doesn't win this. I'm not surprised because it's like equitable in these days. So it's not just gonna be a cakewalk to the end for someone who's like muscular or strong or physical.
yeah.
But his archetype is just like everyone loves him. He's neutral.
And
Boom.
that's probably exactly what it is. Like they're not those comps are not there for him to win. Like there's not the veto aspect. Like
Yeah.
New BB is way more catered to men than ever before because of the competitions. If you notice, the old school Big Brother, like that's what most of the women winners are in.
Mm-hmm.
Like just in general, like we were having back to back women winners back then, and we don't have that anymore,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
We get some information on kind of like a Will Hardy kind of beef. Will basically feels like Hardy would never work with us because Hardy wants to think everything peaches and cream and it's not. And then Hardy kind of talks to Autumn about how Chilltown is coming straight for his ass. So he thinks Chilltown coming from him, and Will kind of not fucking with Hardy. And Chilltown did say his name when they were talking about who should be nominated. So it's kind of like some tension growing between Hardy and Chilltown. That's popping up.
He
Um,
really does not like them. Like
he
he's
doesn't.
like
He's
it's
talking
like
about I don't want them bitches to win.
in
We
this segment, it's like multiple people he's going to saying like he really like as long as they go, I can go home after. Like he
mm-hmm.
really is dead set on them leaving.
He feel like he being gunned down by him. He feel like they all need to go. He's like I don't know. They got him real shaking in his boots a little bit. He's scared. So that's how that's going on. Um, Boom. After this, after he's panicking about Chilltown, all of that, they discover a cow sign in the backyard. It's related to the food comp. Congratulations, good. Then we see, Shannon and Mike kind of have a conversation, and this is where Shannon gets her like Ice Queen tea. It's interesting because we was calling her, Angela and Ice Queen coded. I didn't think someone would actually say it, but Mike kind of has a segment about how he feels like like he's mean, but Shannon is like cold, like she's stone cold, and he calls her Ice Princess. Ice Princess?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a nice princess.
And it's like that's cute. But is she a
What's funny is
princess
that like
or
production
is
really
she not?
starts to get on Shannon here because she's in the dining room and she's just like, I only bond with certain people. They don't do mean things to people. And then we get a cut to her cuddling with Chilltown, which honestly, they're such a interesting three. I hate to say it. Like they're very fun underdogs, but they're cuddling in the bed, and she's like, and Mike is like, yeah, with Autumn, like we need to just lock her in something, and Shannon's like, oh, we should hog tie her, and Will is like, no pun intended, like they're dragging the fuck out of Autumn, and it's like, okay, baby. What happened to you don't like mean people and all this other shit? Like they keep like this whole segment is
It's
like
like Shannon. Played it in her
Shannon
face.
is the
Played
most
it.
evil person in the goddamn game. Like, we do
Yeah.
not like her. Like, it's given production didn't even like her. Because they have Bunky in the DR. He calls her arrogant, which I just like she comes across as that. Like, I
She
think
is arrogant.
her
You put chips
Will,
on this girl bed
her
after she asked you for exercise advice. You're evil.
yeah.
Honestly,
Like,
Shannon is a
and
bitch.
she did not give a damn. And then she came with these fake ass tears that didn't mean shit. That Hardy clocks, because he literally had a diary room and he's mentioning that meeting they had about the chips, and he was like, these crocodile ass tears. And then this is when she approaches Kent, and she's like, Kent, like, I've heard from several people that you and it's just like, why are you approaching him that way? Like, you're already on the bottom of the house. Y'all trying to rekindle things with the group, and this is how you're approaching him. It's like, the thing about Will, he is obnoxious, but like, he can also be charming. Shannon has no charm at all.
Yeah.
And
she doesn't. It feels like she doesn't care to like.
Well, no, because I feel like she is trying to like charm or socialize or get on their good side. It's just not working because she's so naturally how she is.
Yeah, she can't. It's like she can't hide being low-key mean. Like, even in diary room, like, after saying she wants to, like, she's the nice person and with the then she's saying, I'm sorry, I don't want to hold your hand and I can't be so sensitive to you to be your friend. I'm not going to do that. And it's like, what kind of person who? It's like she just does. She's a very interesting person, is what I would say. She's a very, very interesting person. Period. After this, we get to
another luxury competition.
We get to another luxury competition. So it's the mechanical bull. You got to ride the bull. Girls win. Yay.
And they win a barbecue.
They win a barbecue. They were on, they were have not. So they wasn't eating. They was eating PB&J. And because of this, they got a barbecue dinner that night. And then that was it. But still, that's cute or whatever. Good for her. Then we get the Mother Cole segment. Mother Nicole. So if y'all was wondering, where's Mother Nicole? Where's Mother? She's still here, bitch. So she conquers her fears of the water. So that's great. She gets in the jacuzzi. She gets in the pool. We get this, yay, oh my God, hurrah moment. But let's get to the tea. Because we got Nicole in the hammock. Is this where she in the hammock?
Yeah.
Yes. And Will joins her in the hammock. And this is really when Will is starting to show us he's the doctor, bitch. Because he's basically like, look, Nicole, I know you don't like me. And she's like, you ain't talked to me in forever. And he's like, look, wait. It's not all about that. It's not all about that. I know you don't like me, but that doesn't mean that we can't be coexisting. Like, we're still, people. You don't gotta like me, but I kind of like you. I kind of like you more than I like the other people. I just don't hate you the most, really. And he's like doing this thing where he's like hyping her up, but also not. It's so weird because he's like, we both know you running the house. He basically is like, we both know you got this shit on lock. And she's like, Will, stop it. I don't fuck with you. He's like, I know you don't fuck with me. It's just weird. But it works. It's like,
I think she definitely clearly respects it. But also, like in this, like he says in the diary room, like, she's running the house. Like, you have to suck up. You have to play the game.
Yeah.
But he makes a deal with her. Like, he tells her in this moment, if you have my word that if I win HOH, you, Shannon and Mike are not going up. And like, he basically just asks for that in return. And like, this kind of opens the door what we see later in this week where she kind of infiltrates Chilltown, which is like, it's definitely like an idea of like, she thinks she's playing them by trying to infiltrate them, but the fact that he's being nice to her and socializing with her and making her comfortable enough to think that she actually can work with them is him playing her.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even realize it. And I don't think no one realizes it until it's too late. Like, he's literally charming her the fuck down. This is like I said, she was literally about to go up on the block just to send this man home. And now she's laughing in the hammock with him. A lot of people, when they have this type of beef, or like even in this case, like Nicole's a very abrasive person. Like it's obvious that she doesn't like Will because she walks around saying it all day. Most people would not go talk to her. The fact that he's going out of his way to go in the hammock and talk with her for this conversation probably lasted hours.
Yeah.
He's apologizing. He's giving her respect, and I think Nicole is someone that respects that. Like, she likes her ass get kissed a little bit.
Because that's the thing. She doesn't like Will, but I feel like she kind of does like Will. at the same time. Like she probably
He's
doesn't.
charming. He
It's
honestly
kind of like
charming as
I
fuck.
hate you. Like you get on my nerve. It's not like you get on
Stop!
my nerve. Like stop
Stop!
it, Will. Like
Stop!
Will, go over there. Like it's like she doesn't like him, but she has no choice but to kind of like him. Like he's just likable. There's some people who have a charm to them, and Will is just has a charm. So where it's like even if you hate him, you love to hate him, or you love him. Like of all of her enemies, she probably prefers Will to be in the house longer than the rest of her enemies now because he's just charming. He's fun. Like he brings her in, he draws you in, and it's like, girl, here he go. Here he go with his shit. This is when Autumn talks to Nicole, and they talk about people conceding, people basically giving up. And Autumn says Kent needs to just concede because he already got the car. And Nicole goes to Kent about it, and basically she's like, "Would you ever think about conceding?" And Kent's like, "I would never concede. Why would I ever do that? I'm not doing that." And Nicole's like, "You don't. I'm not saying you got to do that. You don't got to do that. But I was just wondering if it would ever even cross your mind." And
And it's like I don't know why Nicole would even say that because girl, ain't nobody doing that. Nicole is so random.
she keeps
Nicole
like bringing shit up.
But that's why I think like Nicole is so hilarious because it's like that's like I feel like an idea of like, oh well, I'm just doing what's right for the group, like what's right with the moral good. Like I think it's best if you guys would. In reality, it's just best for her. That way, she doesn't have to look in one of your faces and vote you out and say, "Well, I just didn't like you more." What do you decide for us?
Mm-hmm. And in this conversation, Kent like tells Nicole, he's like, honestly, if you were playing the game, you'd probably keep Autumn. And it's like,
why would you even say that?
He's like basically telling her all the reasons why she should keep Autumn. And it's like, not you telling her this to you. Like, you're not helping your case, sir. Right?
And it's like, it's mainly because he thinks way too highly of himself. Because he says in the diary room that, Chilltown has clearly told Nicole where they're voting. And he's like, if this house was smart, they would vote me out because clearly she's weak and all of these other things. And I'm not. And it's like, honestly, like, no one cares about you. You can't. Like, I promise you.
Please, baby.
Say it right now. And like, that's why I find it so interesting because Krista keeps saying like, no, it was random. It was random. Like, girl, I feel like it's definitely because like, who was gonna be mad if you put a Kent?
That's 100% what it was. 100%. Boom. After this, there was an America's vote because it's Krista and Mike's birthday coming up. One of them can win a dinner and take somebody else. Krista wins the dinner. She takes Mike's on it. She takes Mike on it. So Mike and Krista have a little dinner. This is good because she can like build her little rapport with Chilltown that she kind of is making, especially with nominating them. Now she can take him on this dinner, get him back under her wing. Like, come on, Krista, queen. And she kind of like hypes him up at the dinner. She's like, I know I'm HOH, but you were the first HOH and you set the precedent. So cheers to you. You ate that up. The whole time he flopped and she know it. So it's like, low key, you lied to this man's face. But period. So that was very cute. That was very, very cute. And Mike kind of tells Krista how if anybody else wins other than us four, because he's including her with Chilltown, that Shannon or Will are probably gonna go home. And Krista was like, "Oh well, I can't play HOH." So it was like, "Okay, girl, you got it." Right? But yeah, basically, Mike is including her in this whole Chilltown group still, and it's like this girl
didn't even vote y'all.
She got them on lock. She got them on. This is when we get the segment of the motherfucking week.
And I'm so happy we got this segment. The Mother Monica social queen. The literal mother of social games. She birthed it. We're watching it. You see it. Episode 6 of Big Brother 2. You see what a real social game is.
Clock it. Monica gets a segment, and it's everyone taking turns praising how this is their motherfucking mother. Period. Basically, they're just like, Bunky and Monica have a good relationship because Monica's a motivational speaker, and he's very down on himself, so she really always helps him with that. So that's really good. Hardy says that Monica is always open and upfront. That makes him feel really comfortable. We see Mike. What does Mike say? Just some rant. Mike is like, Monica is a sister. She's a sister from New York.
He says, like I said, this is very much Gen Z white boy who just discovered AAVE on TikTok.
This is Turner.
Monica is straight up sister that is not to be messed with.
Maybe it's giving Blue Kim.
Oh,
He said Monica is sister kitty kitty purr down, and she's not to be messed with. Is what Mike Boogie said. And I don't know. It just feels weird because Mike kind of saying in a way like he's kind of saying like Monica's like a threat to him, stuff like that because she's very social and she's that girl.
But he recognizes what a mother is, and I love that. You know, and then we really just get multiple segments, you know, of her. She bonds with Hardy. She bonds with Krista. Krista says that, you know, she's fun to be around. She understands. She's probably one of the funniest people that she's ever met. Hardy says all of their conversations with each other, she's very upfront and honest. And if he feels like literally that she can win and she's on pace to win. And then you have Bunky, who he has a lot of insecurity issues, which is understandable. But Monica is someone there that helps him and gives him encouraging words. You know, we literally see her just be so open with everyone. And it's just like, I think that's also something that I wish we saw from a Krista, because I feel like both of them are kind of in that quote unquote floater type thing. However, I feel like Krista, I mean, how intentional she can be at the beginning stage of this strategy, I think is like kind of intentionally playing both sides. But I feel like in general, Monica is just cool with everybody. But it's a similar type of thing. They could both go either way they wanted to go. However, as you can see, Monica is building unbreakable, I feel like, relationships where they're not going to vote her out if she's next to someone on the block. And I feel like, you know, Krista, we don't really see that yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's different types of floaters. I think there's the floater who you could be someone like Nicole or kind of Azza or Monica. And then there's the floater where you're like Andy or June or Krista. I feel like the Andy, June, Krista floater is a little bit more strategically, purposefully flipping between two sides. And then like the Azza or Monica one is more so where allowing everyone else to just do their thing, and we're just going to be social and not be targeted by other people. So one is like avoiding being targeted, and the other is kind of like intentionally flip-flopping. And I feel like the two different versions are getting birthed in this season. And then we see in later seasons how people try to do both. People try to play both sides, and then some people just try to be well liked and just use that as their strategy the whole time. And I think it's just interesting seeing like the two approaches to kind of the same thing, you know. Chris and Monica are kind of doing the same thing, but they're just approaching it totally differently. So very interesting, very, very interesting. And Monica talks about her strategy in the diary room, and I like it because she says she thought going in she would be the type of person who would play it in the future, like think of things and think of plans to get her farther in the future. But when she got in, she realized she just has to take it day by day. And I think that shows awareness, because when you're playing Big Brother, if you want to play some type of way, there's times you just can't play this type of way you had in your mind. And if you go in there and you try to force it, it's not going to work. And I think Monica realized, I can't play like that. I just need to play like Monica. And by doing that, we see what happens. We see the results.
We see who Mother was, to this day.
Is to this day. So I really, really like that. After this, we get another scene with Nicole, and basically what's happening is Nicole is starting to infiltrate Chilltown. She has a plan basically to pretend to get with Chilltown. Her side of the house knows it, and Kent kind of tries to talk, kind of tells us about it.
And I want to pause here real quick, because I feel like once again, like this is like an example of like Nicole is Nicole. It's kind of like that Vanessa-ish or Christy-ish strategy. When she's the mother of it, clearly. Maybe two. Where it's like, I'm cool with everyone and I'm doing everything for the greater good. Because she's like, I'm infiltrating Chilltown to let the good people win.
Yeah.
Or they will just make a deal with you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's kind of convenient that we're infiltrating Chilltown after Will has been telling you, you know, I respect you. I'm not coming after you. I'm clearly sure he's been saying Mike and Shannon probably aren't coming after you as well. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's to let the good people win. You can get information from them, bring it back. But it's mainly protecting you. And I just wish like there was not necessarily accountability, because she does take accountability for running the game, but it's just like I think that's a big disconnect. It's like kind of like the Nicole thing where it's like we want to see you own it, and I feel like Nicole don't kind of own it a little bit. It's like you are running the game. You're that girl. You know they should be scared of you, but like you're strategically playing it too. You're not making these decisions because you care about the good people.
Just randomly, girl, please. And this is when Nicole gets more of the information about the other baddest bitch in the house, because she finds out how much Chilltown thinks they have Krista. They're telling her Krista's our number 4. Krista's on lock. You don't got to worry about Krista. Period. And Nicole is like, okay, period. Noted. And I think that's something that Nicole will note in her mind.
Yeah. And it's definitely an example of just like, girl, Krista's getting clocked. And I think it's a big reason because she did not put up Chilltown. Because she would just put up Chilltown, none of this would have happened. But then also Krista loses her position. Like Nicole in this instance, and the people who know what happens, child, you connecting the dots, but we're definitely going to get there. But like Nicole, the type of game that she's trying to play right now is this like playing in the middle type of situation. And she's doing it at this point openly with Krista because, you know, I'm sure she's having a conversation with Krista, but Chilltown is also telling Nicole, we have Krista, we're going to be a 5-person alliance. So she's seeing that Krista is openly playing both sides. Whereas Nicole, I think her sole loyalty is to the quotations good people because she has a good relationship with Hardy, a good relationship with Bunky. So I think that her core is actually over there. Where I think Krista leans more towards Chilltown. So I can see that if I didn't know what was happening, I can see that bubbling into an issue.
I agree. And this is where we kind of see, and a part of me now that I'm going over it, it kind of feels like Chilltown got confident with this Nicole thing because after this, we see a heavy push towards voting out Kent. And it wasn't really there that much at first, but now that Nicole is like playing with them a little bit, Chilltown is now thinking, I guess they have the votes because it's only 3 of them voting and you need 4 votes to vote somebody out. And now they think Nicole will vote with them to vote out Kent. Kent is being annoying. People are annoyed by him in the house and not really fucking with him. But really right now, the only people who want to vote him out is Chilltown. And they're going to try to like kind of have this push towards taking out Kent instead of taking out Autumn. And Nicole is in the middle of this vote because Nicole could basically go either way, period. So, which is very interesting because it's like the decision she makes, I don't know. Like, I kind of don't know what she should do because going with Chilltown, you're going with Chilltown. And it's like, ooh. But also not going with Chilltown, it's kind of like, you just played in a face. The whole week.
I think, and then this vote for Autumn is unanimous. So I just think at this point, she's running the game. If she tells Chilltown, Kent's not going home, well. Then boom, Kent's not going home. And they have I have to imagine that's what ends up happening because Chilltown does want Kent to go, and they don't vote him out this week. And they all go, so, Nicole kind of maintains her position of still kind of being with Chilltown.
Yeah, that's true. And they need her. She don't need them. So they're kind of at her
backing.
Her
which they know.
Yeah, so keep it cute. After this, we get the mandatory Monday house meeting. Okay. So there's a mandatory Monday house meeting. I'm assuming because there's not a veto. You know why it probably is for real? Probably because they vote before the live episode as well. So they're giving the nominees a chance to speak before they vote, before the live episode. It's a lot going on. So this is when the nominees basically give their speeches. Autumn says, I hope y'all judge my good the same way y'all judge my bad, basically, because they do be judging the fuck out of her.
They be judging the fuck out of Autumn. I just know if BB2 was around during Twitter days, bitch, I would be an Autumn stan. Down. Yes, I would. I would be on. Why the fuck is Hardy always? Bitch, I would be.
He always got her name in his mouth, and I would
be dragging Mike. I'd be dragging Hardy, and see, this week I'd actually be conflicted as fuck because I would love Krista, but then Krista doing this because the gag is, I wouldn't want Chilltown to go. Like I feel like
you would be hoping for Kent. You would be like, please, Nicole,
send Kent home. Come on.
Go. I agree though. Same. I would stand up. Fuck fuck out of Autumn. Ain't she black?
Would.
Queen. But Autumn says if she stays, she's gonna be playing to the end. So stop saying all that shit. Stop counting me out. Period. Kent says the group gonna have to do what they gotta do.
And that in itself, like, he's so just negative. Honestly, I will say, because a lot of his vitriol goes to Chilltown, I can see why Hardy, Bunky, and them are like, I mean, we really don't care. But it's so clear, if he's acting this way towards them, what do you think is going to happen when it's just y'all? Especially considering how he was at the beginning of this game. When he was trying to get a group together, well, just the fact that he was trying to get a group together. Like, the day one, he was trying to make this Bros Alliance. Bunky's aware of that. Hardy's aware of that. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I would definitely rather keep someone in Autumn who you feel is emotional and can't play, over someone like Kent, who's literally just like, I mean, you got your different alliances and all this shit and like, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Child. So on the days leading up to the eviction, we see Chilltown is really, really wanting Kent to go. We see Autumn try to campaign to Hardy, but Hardy still tells her to her face he wants her to go. And we see Nicole is in the middle, genuinely. She genuinely actually doesn't know where she wants to vote at first. She's like talking to Hardy about it. She's like telling Autumn, I'm not sure. But Hardy wants her to vote with him. And then she's talking to Chilltown about it and telling them she's genuinely not sure and she doesn't really know where to go. And we kind of just see segments of her trying to figure out which way she wants to go with the vote. I'm sure they're kind of like chalking the edit up with this a little bit too to kind of keep the suspense. But we saw how the vote went.
And that's how they do. I could see how she was probably genuinely in the middle at one point, but she probably been decided.
Mm-hmm.
Because in general too, and I think that's also shown by, like, I feel like if it was something that was actually going to happen, we would have got like a Will vote or Shannon vote, because we don't see every vote, but they didn't show any other Chilltown vote. So I feel like it was like, girl, it's unanimous. And she definitely had to have told them at some point. Clearly, we didn't get that conversation, but I think she probably definitely told them.
100%. I agree. We get a Shannon and Will segment. We get their love story, basically. They go back in time.
I'm honestly so over that.
You over it already?
I've been over it. I was over it the first time.
They do that shit in modern BB2, trying to force showmances. Giving, what's that man name? The white man?
Kyle.
Final two last season.
Matt. And Riley.
Damn, I couldn't think of his name. Give Matt this letter from Riley, just making shit up, please. And here, well,
I will say this was a little bit scandalous.
They're not making this up, but they really just. Do we need to see it every episode?
This one a little bit more scandalous though, because she had a whole boyfriend, and one thing
we will be hearing from him.
They were messy, okay? Because they do this whole romantic segment with Will and Shannon, which I also find hilarious. How, like, they keep trying to mention, like, oh, it could be for strategy. I think Kent even says that, like, clearly they're just using each other for strategy. And Will even says that too. Like, she could be using me. Girl, how would you strategically use each other? Everyone hates both of y'all. It would be better to separate.
It would. That's kind of strategic.
But on top of that entire segment where they're literally, I mean, it gets crazy. There's a segment where we get, some playing under the cover. It gets crazy. And, like, honestly, Shannon, girl, I don't blame you. I do not. Because Will
cheated on the boyfriend, Tim.
Look, Tim, and that's because you said he was cute on text. Look, Will was cute. I'm sorry.
Will is definitely cute.
And Will is a doctor. But what I love...
Oh, that's Tim.
What I love... What was the boyfriend? Is it Jim or Tim? Tim. What I love about Shannon is that clearly she gets her men in check. Because he was mad, but he was mad.
Like, she's still gonna come home. I'm still gonna be that man for her. I'm still gonna make sure that
she was like, I need answers. But he was more mad at Will. Mind you, Will.
And Will, I'll see you outside. But me and Shannon, we're good over here.
And it's like, okay. I mean, spoiler alert, she dates Will after the show. So they're not good at all. But it's like
the thing, when you reminded me that Will is a doctor. Will is a doctor.
She said,
have y'all ever seen She-Ra 7? If y'all haven't seen She-Ra 7, YouTube, what is her YouTube name? But anyway, She-Ra 7 on YouTube.
She-Ra 7, yeah.
I want y'all to look. SHERA 7 on YouTube. Look her up. Watch one of her videos. That is a motherfucking goddess. That's that girl. But She-Ra 7 will be standing Shannon down because Shannon is chasing that bag, bitch. Bet more than she's chasing that man.
Beauty, brains, and money. I mean, hello. She knew what she was doing. I mean, the man won the game. Honestly, she knew exactly, and he won the game, girl.
Damn, you
I would have dropped that. The thing is, even if I wasn't going to drop him, when he won the season, oh baby, he's over.
Yeah. We're locked in.
So I wonder.
I would have never let him go.
This is interesting though, because she dates Will after the show, but she go home soon. So did she go back to the boyfriend
until needed be?
And then when the finale hits, it was like, well,
that's crazy.
She probably was. She definitely probably was. I don't know what her sign is. She gives me Aries.
She does give Aries, doesn't she?
Like Angela, because Angela's an Aries.
Interesting. They have some similarities. A couple guys and a couple tribes.
Oh no, Sagittarius. I see
that too. That's a fire sign.
Yep.
It's the fire of it all.
Definitely a fire
of it all. So the nominees give their thoughts.
Is our water sign? Probably. That's my sister for real.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, she's also a Sagittarius.
Oh, get water. It's the moon sign for Autumn. The moon got to be in Cancer. Okay, boom. The nominees give their speeches again. Kent says this is a microcosm of the world, and if I have to win this game by being a terrible person and a bitch, then you can just vote me out right now. And to those people who are terrible people, fuck.
Right.
He went in.
Like, I don't understand why they would keep him. Why would they keep him? I would not keep this man.
They already know it. It's too late. But that thing, it's too late. That's why it's a setup.
But my thing is, he's been a miserable old man the entire week. Blow his ass out. He's miserable. Send his ass home. Keep Autumn. Oh my God. I just know I would be on Twitter like, keep Autumn. Keep
Hashtag save Autumn. Get it trending.
Hashtag save Autumn.
Get it trending. Autumn says that she really don't want to say nothing. She'd rather leave it at that. And that she's in a win-win. Oh, she called out
Hardy, because she's basically mentioned like one of my roommates, who I thought was my friend, was walking around here trying to get me out the most.
And Julie was like, who, Autumn, who? Say a name.
She was like, do I have to say it? She was like, well, if you want to. I'm going to leave it at that. Because they knew. He knew. But then she says, she's in a win-win situation because, she stays, she gets to play the game, or she needs to go back to her son. So,
period. Love that for her.
A queen who wins either way.
A queen who stays queen. Period. Well, we see they families, Autumn sons, Justice, and Kent kids. That's good for them. Then we get the Krista HOH interview. Love these so much because we really get their raw thoughts like in real time. So Krista says she doesn't have any regrets for nominating the people she wanted to nominate. She definitely wanted Autumn to go, did not want Kent to go, allegedly. I don't think she cared, but hey, she keeps saying she didn't want it. Julie asked why you didn't nom Will. You said you was gonna nom Will, and this is where Krista kind of got me excited because she said, honestly, I probably just shouldn't have won the HOH because I wasn't ready to nominate and target Will yet because everyone else is going to target him, and he's not going to win the game at this point. Kind of close. She also dropped a big ass bomb in my asshole because me and Lee was on the phone, and we was like, the issue with Krista's HOH week, we was beyond intellectual nerdy. We was like, the issue with Krista's HOH week is she didn't solidify anything. And I know it's the first season, but you still, you got to protect yourself. And bitch, whole time she had an alliance. Secret. We didn't even know about it. She had an alliance.
Girl, Danielle and Jason's crown is shaking.
Girl, they're talking about secret alliance. What? So she had a secret alliance called UT, hashtag the Untouchables. Shout out to Bailey. With her, Monica, and Hardy. And it's like, girl, so really, I'm thinking about her, she's locked in, bitch. If you got Hardy,
but does she have Hardy?
Nicole. If you had Nicole,
the real question is, does she really have Hardy?
Now, this is alleged.
And that's the problem with
she has Hardy.
That's the problem with players like Hardy. I mean, it's like that Hayden, that Drew, that Cody,
you remember
that Matt, even a little bit, where everyone feels like they have them, but only one person actually has them. Mm-hmm. Matt, it was Jag. Cody, it was Enzo. Cody, it was Derek. It's true. It was Michael. That like everyone feels like
Mm-hmm.
they have them, but they actually only is loyal to one person. And I think Hardy is probably Nicole.
Yeah.
So this alliance really don't mean shit.
Yeah. It reminds me of that alliance that Cody and them had with Bailey and Davon.
Yeah.
Or also
The
the alliance he
alliance
did,
Ian had with Cody and them.
or the alliance he had with Danny and Nicole. It's just like all of them were a lie. But also what's hard to work around is that it's like they're not lying about being in an alliance. Like Cody was in an alliance with them. He probably wasn't going to nominate them,
And he would definitely use it to his advantage.
and he's definitely going to use it to his advantage. And
And
it's
he
like
doesn't.
that's why it's hard to work around those type of players because it's like Hardy was probably just invited into it, and it's like he's probably going to actually genuinely. He's never probably nominating Nicole or Krista,
But
but
the
still.
issue with that is that I don't understand how you see someone, and I'm not Krista and them. I'm mainly talking about these newer age archetypes, like someone like Cody or even Matt. Because I remember, like in 2025, Corey would tell everyone, like everyone thinks they have Matt, and it was so obvious that Cody was very sociable in 16 and 22. Why do you think that someone who was so socially set up good is only loyal to you, or
has you the most?
Even if they are the most loyal to you, the fact that they have other options means that they could go with other options if you get clipped. I don't understand why you would even want to work with someone who's in that type of position. It's like, I don't know.
And honestly, thinking about it, the person who I feel like least mad about that is Krista, because even if Hardy is cool with all these people, Krista's cool with Chilltown and he's not. So Krista's working in a situation where he has enemies. These other bitches in newer seasons, these niggas don't have no enemies. Who's gonna take them out if you also fucking with them? At least with Krista, he's beefing with Chilltown. So shout out to her.
Period.
Yeah, give her gods. Julie reveals the vote. Autumn is gone 7-0. She walks
not
out.
Unanimous. She said, "Don't walk me out. I'm good."
She says, "I'm good." She started this, bitch. She started this.
I love game changers. I only know hugs. She said
nothing. Wow. And she basically said that's fake. Like it's fake. Like we wasn't hugging and kissing before. Why am I hugging and kissing now? And honestly, bring back this real reality TV because I fuck with it. If you're not fucking with me, if you just voted me out, why am I hugging you?
Fuck you.
Yuck.
No hugs.
I'm not hugging. I am not hugging nobody. Get off me. Fuck. Anyway,
Michael's was so funny. Guys, I have something to say.
It was a setup. It was
hilarious.
Setup. But in the interview, Autumn basically says, it is what it is. I was getting voted out by people who wasn't fucking me.
I feel like Julie was asking her questions about like the game. Like, why were you not playing? Why were you not campaigning for votes? She literally mentions Nicole. Like, we saw Nicole campaign and fight to stay. And I just find that interesting because like this is not a fully established game. Like, this is the second ever HOH. She is one of the first 4 ever nominees by an HOH, And it's like, we're asking her why she isn't campaigning. Why isn't she fighting to stay? Girl, that's not like established yet. Nicole is the first person to ever do that. And she did it successfully. Most people don't do it successfully. She did it successfully. She got to the top of the house and now she's running it. Like, people now don't do that. It's like, I agree. I wish Autumn would have done a little bit more. I do think that she tried. I mean, I think that a lot of people, when they get evicted, they kind of want to they want to be like, oh, I knew this was happening. And, I didn't need to do this because it's fake. And, and it's like, girl, we saw you argue with Mike and then talking to Mike. Why else would we be talking to Mike if you wasn't trying to stay? So she kind of kept going back and forth with that even on the show about, oh, I want to play and then I don't want to, you know what I mean? I think truly she wanted to stay, but when the decision was made, it's like, well, I'm not shocked, But it's it's just so interesting that Julie was trying to pry on like the game of Big Brother isn't fully established yet. So I'm not shocked she didn't have the answers.
Exactly. It was kind of like it was weird because it's the second eviction ever. It's like, you asking these questions, these are the questions you asked on BB25, baby.
And that she didn't be asking questions
So it was interesting, but Autumn was basically like, I mean, I think they had my best interest, and I did need to go home. So go, girl.
I also when did the chin bot allegation start? Because I feel like Julie is so lively. Like, she's always joking, always gagging or like asking or someone will say something contradictory. She'll be like, but you didn't necessarily. Like, she has a lot of personality.
Honestly, when I'm thinking about it on my rewatch, I never felt like she didn't have personality. Honestly, every season I feel like there's a moment where she's calling some bitches out or doing something. Even
Where
like
did the shit about allegations come from?
I'm thinking like the middle seat. She does give. I think it's more so during the production where she's like, but first, like maybe that part.
Yeah,
That part is
and
so
all of
thick.
that is new. That is all new.
Yeah, so maybe it's that part because during the actual when she's talking to people, she be chilling. I remember the interview with Bailey.
The show has become so.
The
It's
interview with
like,
Bailey where she's like, she's like, he met your parents, and guess what? They hated him. And Bailey's like she always like I'm thinking of every era. Like she's joking with the niggas. I don't know what you're talking about. But boom, we get to the HOH competition. The HOH competition, they asking them questions, random questions sometimes. Who got letter N's in their name? Of the 9 people left, who is taller than 6 foot?
I love it though. I wish they would bring back these competitions, especially with bigger casts. Like it forces you to know what the people are like. You have to be social. Like it's questions about like the names. I know like it was questions about marriages, like who was married the most. Like these are really fun, in my opinion.
It came down to Shannon, Mike, and Hardy. Chilltown was up, bitch. Chilltown was
I
up.
wanted Chilltown to win so bad, and then when it got down to
Shannon
Shannon and Hardy,
nasty.
I wanted Shannon to win so bad, y'all.
Who do you think would have went home if Shannon won HOH? Ooh. She wouldn't have targeted not Nicole.
She would have put up Hardy for sure. Probably Hardy. No, she wouldn't have put up Nicole. I think that
Hardy and Kent probably.
Yeah.
And Kent would have went home. Okay.
Bye. Well, no. Who controlled the vote? Oh, I guess they wouldn't have the votes. No. Yeah, they would have played in their face. They would have played in their face and kept Hardy. Yeah, definitely. 100%. Oh, that would have
been a nice week though. That would have been a nice week, low-key. But it didn't happen. Hardy won HOH.
I'm kind of sad because he really wants to just target Chilltown. Like I'm sad. Like, I'm really not gonna lie. Like it's like, okay, I'm back in 2001. I'm just so annoyed because it's like I just feel like Mike, Shannon, and Will are gonna go back to back to back. And that's so boring.
We never like seeing it. Never like.
We never like seeing it. This is wait. What do you mean? This is weird.
Oh! I just would hate to see something like this for the first time ever. Like it would just be crazy. Like to see something randomly in BB2 where it just would be kind of boring. Like they're not nice, but it's interesting having an opposition. Without an opposition, it's like what are we gonna have? It'd be crazy if one of them just accidentally won. But anyway,
I mean, I don't see how any of the 3 of them could, turn in their favor. Like maybe Will, but like I mean, it's just
not even him.
Not even Will, girl.
Doubt it. I'm finna rate him a 0.
I mean.
Let's get into these motherfucking ratings, y'all. If you don't know the T, week 1 is on top, or the previous week we rated is going to be on top, and then the new week is going to be on the bottom, like me, a bottom. So, what?
Some of the girls are not going to like that.
They're going to be mad. It was a lot. Don't make me get my trade. All right. Autumn. How do you feel about Autumn as an overall Big Brother 2 player?
What was that? Autumn, that's my queen, that's my girl. She don't do pretend. Nah, I really, really like Autumn. Like, I know for sure I would have been an Autumn stand down, bitch. Like, that would have been my sister for real. But, I mean, I'm not shocked that this happened. Because of the position she was in, she was always going to be vulnerable. And it was a very rare situation to where, like, no one was going to target anyone else but Chilltown except Krista, and then Krista won and did exactly that. And she went after Autumn, and she even would have, like, even with her being nominated, she low-key should have stayed because it was all of her allies voting. But literally, they did not trust that she would be emotionally strong enough to withstand this game. Was it smart on their parts? I really don't think so. I think Autumn could have been a very strong piece for Hardy, Bunky, Nicole later down the line, and clearly like, everyone's saying no one likes Will. He can't win the game. That's Autumn for real. Now, it's not a knock on Krista's HOH because I think it's very successful. Like, the type of game she's playing, it's usually best to take out someone like Autumn. I think she's, like, the first, like, victim of that. Like, oh, this is just collateral damage. Like, she's literally just collateral damage. And I do feel like, I mean, we saw on the show, like, even though she said that bullshit to Julia at the end, I don't think that she wanted to go. I think she wanted to stay. And she was doing some work, like getting Chilltown like comfortable with her being in the game, especially with all the beef she was having with Mike, was really good on her part. I just I don't know. Like there wasn't much that she could really do necessarily because I just think that that's not the type of player that she was. And this is also BB2. Like, what was she gonna do? Just copy Nicole? I guess she could have, but it's like people really just aren't thinking on that level. So I gave her a 3 last week. I'll just end it off with a 3. Maybe a 2.5.
Yeah.
Maybe a 2.5. It's like, girl, there we are allies. Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna give her the 2.5 as well. I like when you mentioned that this was the best thing for Krista too. Like it sucks because Autumn was kind of just collateral damage, but it is best for Krista, and it's kind of why like players like Autumn, you can't just be kind of just there and having friends. That's not enough. It kind of is what happened with Jesse and Andy when Andy was playing the floater strategy. Like floaters do not be winning HOHs. June won like one at Final Four. Allison won a lot of vetoes, not really a lot of HOHs. It's like to successfully achieve the floater strategy, you really cannot be winning HOHs. But when Andy had to, he took out Jesse, or he helped them get out. Like a lot of times, he was helping them get people out. But when he won, he took out somebody who was a dud, like random. So it's like that's what you got to do, and it's like that's kind of what happened to Autumn. But yeah, her gameplay it just wasn't even. I feel like even. Oh, this is BB2 because I was trying to say even in another season there hasn't been one. But with Autumn, it's like the way she was playing, like she just wasn't even liked by her allies enough for them to keep her. So it's like I can't give you. You got to get the 2.5, baby. But that's my girl. That's my queen. That's my girl. Okay. Will motherfucking Kirby. Oh, this is interesting because he got the lowest score last round. So we're going to be rating him first. And I do feel better about Will's game than I did last week. We hear from the streets that he was kind of the one who started the Let's Suck Up to the Other Side campaign. I believe it because he was doing the best with it. He was going directly to the source.
We also saw him doing it initially.
Like yeah, he was doing it first. Already he's been sucking up to Mother Nicole, and we see that he made a deal with Nicole. Nicole has now started fondling with Chilltown more because of Will's work. So I do like all of these things, but we already know who the HOH is, y'all, and it's Hardy. So from my understanding, Will, you're going home.
Yeah.
So because of that, I want to raise him up like a little bit more higher, like a few notches. But because we know Hardy is HOH, and the work he did is only like it's not enough. You've already done so much bad work. So the work you've done so far is only slightly raising the bad. So it's not good enough for me. I do like the work though, so I'll give him a 2 instead of a 1.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I've already been so low on him, and you're right. Like we saw great work, but we don't really see the fruits of that labor yet because we know Hardy's going to be the HOH. We know he's targeting Chilltown. Of course, I mean, knowing what happens with the season, he clearly steps up, but it's not really happening now. I think clearly Shannon has become a bigger target than him, so it's very possible. I truly don't remember who Hardy puts up at all. I don't know who Will's going to be next to. And at this point, if he is next to Shannon, I don't see why he wouldn't stay over Shannon because Shannon is pissing everybody off actively. We haven't seen any real like montages or talks about how much they hate Will anymore. And we see like we mentioned the kissing up to Nicole, which at this moment is really good because Nicole holds a lot of power. It's very clear. I mean, when information like this week, it was very apparent. Like we gave her a chance for how she survived, but this week, girl, I mean, how all the information really runs through Nicole, how everyone goes directly to her about the vote, the nominations, like everyone talks to Nicole about like I think every aspect of what this game is so far. And Will, smartly clocked that she's the one that he's gonna have to flip on his side to have any chance in this game, which I'm not counting it in the score, but we know eventually works. But based off this week, it ain't moving too much anywhere yet. So I'll go with the 2.5 just because I feel like he's not on the bottom of Chilltown anymore, based off what we've seen. But he's not, he ain't the best setup yet.
Yeah, I agree. How you feeling about Shannon?
Shannon, I just feel like I don't know. Like, it's exactly how I felt about Angela Rummins, honestly, but worse. I just really don't like this personality type. It's not cute. It's like
It's just not cute.
it would be like if the
Oh,
Challenge USA was a thing back then. Yes.
yes, yes, Shannon. Pick 3 people to be on the challenge, and don't just say Chilltown.
Shannon,
Just Chilltown.
girl. Shannon Michael. Honestly, it's
Honestly,
Chilltown.
it's
Chilltown,
Chilltown. Their
Krista,
personalities give.
Nicole, Hard. They would get Hardy real quick. Or they
They
would get Hardy.
would.
Honestly, this whole cast would eat on the challenge. Anyway, I think
You
Autumn.
know,
Autumn would be hilarious
yeah.
on the challenge.
Ooh, what
But
if they got Justin? Do you think they would ever get someone who's
girl,
excelled?
no,
They
not
can't
the
do
way
it.
he got, not the way he went home. They wouldn't do that. I don't
MTV
think
is
so.
so raunchy. Oh, it's not on MTV no more.
That's yeah, Challenge USA. But yeah, Shannon, I just like, do you want to stay? Do you want to actually play? Like we mentioned, like even with her trying to kiss up, it's like she's so just cold. She really is. I don't think that anyone other than Mike and Will are able to make a genuine connection with Shannon. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have clips of her kind of bonding with Monica, and Monica even had that diary room. Like she respects Shannon because she's kind of like her, but Shannon is really just slick. Can't call her passive aggressive, and I don't think that. Like that is just her personality. It really is. And like even with her attempting to try and fix it, she can't. She just genuinely cannot. And I just didn't see. We didn't see much improvement at all. I gave her 2.5. I'm gonna give her a 2 because at this point she is at the bottom of the time.
Yeah, I feel similar. Now I do feel like there's a chance that Will being more threatening could. Girl, I'm pretending that there's a chance that Will being more threatening could send him home over her if they are not together because he is, the better player. He was running them. Like that's Will's target started,
but they don't even see that. Remember,
they
had the
used
diary room. Shannon wants to be this leader, and she wants to because that's how she's coming off. Like at this point, Will and Mike. Mike was never that mean, and Will started sucking ass. She is still evil to most of the house.
Child. So, I think there's a slight possibility people might see that she's not a threat since no one likes her. Same reason Krista didn't nominate them, basically. No one likes you, and people hate Shannon more than they hate Will. So, who's probably better to stay in the house? Honestly, the smart thing would probably be to save Shannon because she's so hated and such a bitch.
It's like,
and it's like,
It's so simple in this situation. It's not like it wouldn't be Shannon next to Kent. Like it makes more sense to Shannon versus Kent. Shannon versus Will is like we hate them both, and Shannon's a little bit more of a bitch. So
that's true. But we
know the infamous toothbrush that ain't even happened yet.
Yeah.
So clearly she gets worse.
That's true. But yeah, I'm gonna give her a 1. She's not a good player. She's doing like it's like she's still arguing. She argued with people this week, the same week that she has tried to play in their face and pretend to be nice. It's like, girl, you just need to pick. Just be mean.
It's very see-through. That's the biggest thing, and that's what makes it disingenuous. Like we know you don't actually like us.
Okay. Yeah, just be mean, boo. So it's a 1 for me. She'll probably go down next week again. Mike is interesting because I didn't hear a lot of negative commentary about Mike actually throughout this week. People are kind of like not talking about Mike that much. Like when it comes to Chilltown, most people hate Shannon, and there's still slight residue of the Will hate, but Mike is not much.
It's that big like guilty by association, but not even breaking it up. Is he doing the strategy of I fucked up? Let me just revert into myself.
Let me just chill out
and not say shit.
Yeah. And it's kind of given that. And he did better at actually going on the apology tour. And it's probably because people didn't hate him as much as they hated the other people either. What I will say is I think Mike should be safer than Shannon and Will. Like if they take out all of Chilltown, it shouldn't be until Shannon goes and Will goes. And then by then maybe he'll have a chance to kind of wiggle his way around because he was never that not likable. They kind of like him. So I feel better about Mike for sure. I feel like Mike can have some weeks in this game if he plays it right and if he continues to kind of do better. The issue is he's not really that strategic. Like other than apologizing, he didn't do much. Like we saw Will make a deal. We saw Will kind of bring Nicole in towards this thing. But one thing Mike has over the others is his connection to Krista. Will Krista being closest to Mike help him? Will she ever try to keep that number? will, if she wins another HOH, she might save him. So he got a plus. He got 1+. So I just put 3.5 actually. I will.
Yeah, and I think I'll stick with the 3 mainly because even by the end of this week, we know who's the HOH, and then also with Mike, kind of what you were saying, like we don't see anything negative, but we also don't see the active gameplay either. Even if he is kind of reverting and being chilled out so people don't mess with him, it's like, yeah, but you have to like start building those connections too. Like, people should be starting saying like, "Oh, we're really coming around to Mike. Mike is cooking and clean." At the end of the day, he still goes to bed with Shannon and Will. So even though you're not like them or people aren't talking about you as much, you're always going to be associated with them. And because he's not doing any active work, I just feel like, he could very well easily still go home next to one of them because it's like you have one person who hasn't been talking to me in case of my ass, and Will, who's been doing it for like 2 weeks at this point.
How you feeling about Kent?
Kent, I mean, Krista didn't say it, but I just feel like from what we get from everyone else, he was definitely nominated because no one was going to care if he went up, and it wouldn't matter if he went home. Like, I just think that Kent, I mean, the good people, like, one, he's pissed off all of Chilltown, which it doesn't even make any sense because the type of player Kent is, like, for him to be on one side, it's like, I think it works with his personality type. He's like the older gentleman. He plays that moral card of like, I can't work with those people because they're like this and they're devious and they're abomination. Whatever. But it's just like, he kind of went in initially saying he wants an alliance with Will. He wants this group with Mike, and they were not fully open to it, but I bet they'd be open to that shit now. And it's like the fact that you got all 3 of them against you is so crazy because you're not the biggest threat. Like in his mind, he thinks he's the biggest threat in the game. He's so strategic, and people are going to be so scared of him, and no one actually is. And I feel like the good people, like, they don't necessarily, I don't think, fuck with him. I truly, it seems like they're just kind of like dragging him along because they know he's also against Chilltown. I don't see any of them wanting to take Kent to the end game with them. Or they might because he's so hated, but I just don't see it. Like, no one is having any, like, even this week, it's like the only person who I feel like was really reaching out to him was Nicole. And that's because Nicole is that girl, of course. But other than that, you're not seeing too many other people who just, like, continuously, like, reassure him or talk about any, like, too many plans for next week. So I just feel like his days are numbered. Like, definitely. I don't think he's in immediate danger, but I just feel like he's falling from grace in the house, and him being nominated in this pawn type of way, I feel like it's possible to happen again. Or like there's only 9 people left now. Like next time he goes up, he probably would just go home because like who is really looking out for Kent? Nobody. So honestly, I think it's a 3.5.
Yeah, I feel similar about Kent. Like he was, first of all, he was nominated this week. Like you said, I think it's because he's expendable to everyone. No one gave a fuck. People are not mad at Christopher nominating Kent. They don't care.
Like if it was hard, she would probably actually be done. The fact that it was Kent, no one gave a shit.
No one gave a fuck. I don't see anybody checking for him. Bunky, I was thinking, I was like, okay, the only person I remember Kent having a conversation with was maybe Bunky, maybe Nicole. Both of them wanted to vote for Autumn to stay. So
right.
So it's like the people who you were cool with, they want to vote. They didn't even want to vote for you to stay. So clearly he doesn't have good bonds with them. And he's been pissing off Chilltown a lot to where if Chilltown even won HOH, if Shannon won this HOH where she was 1 point off to, Kent would probably be going home.
So it's like he probably would have did Hardy and Kent would be out.
Yeah, so it's like you're not in a good position at all. If Chilltown ends up winning an HOH, you're going home. And then if Chilltown's out, you're probably going home after that because everyone else is more ingratiated. And he hasn't been doing the strategizing he was doing, maybe because he was nom, so he kind of like was in survival mode. But it's like you don't have close social relationships and close strategic relationships. You don't have that either. So I don't feel good about him at all. I feel like he's like hanging on by the grace. So I'm giving him a 3 actually.
Yeah, I think the 3 is appropriate, but because it's not even just the fact that he was nominated. Like he didn't have that scene in the HOH room when he was alone and he's like, "Oh, I'm just done. I'm overdosed on the bullshit," which was a hilarious line. But it's like he takes this like high ground of like, "Oh, I can't be playing this game and in this house with these devious and evil people, and I have to take time for myself. Like, you're not full of bullshit, Kent. Like, y'all, you know what I mean? So it's like he purposely ostracizes and isolates himself. Like, they even made a joke at the end about how, like, Kent from day one kind of just goes in the HOH room. Like, he clearly has those moments a lot, which is why I don't know why he stayed this week. Like, he just really hated a bad bitch, but whatever.
Yes. Next is Monica.
Mother Monica.
Now, this is the thing. Initially, the reason I gave her the 5 last week is because I wasn't confident on her like personal relationships, how strong they were. But now, after we got the scene of how Hardy respects her a lot. Bunky has this like motivational connection with her. Her and Krista are clearly number ones to each other. She's in the Untouchables with Hardy and Krista. So that's really, really good. The only person who it doesn't seem like she has like a close connection to in the majority is like Kent, who gives a fuck, and Nicole. And I give a fuck about that now. Because I will say she seems close to everyone around her except really Nicole, but Nicole's running it. So I feel highly about Monica because if you're gonna go the social strategy route, the social route, be good with everybody in the majority, and she is, but you have to also kind of have, and I was going to say you need the strategy, but she got the strategy because she's in an alliance that no one knows about with Hardy and Krista. So that's really, really good, but Nicole is still running the game, and I'm afraid of her proximity to Nicole. I'm kind of thinking of people's proximity to Nicole, and hers isn't as strong as some of the others, but every other part of her game is really, really strong, so I'm still pretty high on her, actually. I feel like when is she ever going home? Because we're targeting Chilltown. Even if we don't, we're targeting Kent. And if not, maybe even Krista, because she's connected to Chilltown, you know? And if Chilltown takes a shot, it's going to be Hardy or Nicole. And it's like, none of that is Monica or Bunky. I will say when we get to Bunky, I'll talk about that too. Because Monica and Bunky are probably the safest 2 bitches in this house, I will say. But what Monica has is also a secret alliance. And I really, really like that. So I'm giving her a 7.5, actually. I'm going for it. Period. How you feeling?
Yeah, no, I really like what I saw. Like, it's very clear that damn near the entire house has this unbreakable, seemingly connection with her, and that's definitely going to take her far. Like, basically, especially like in these earlier seasons, it's definitely more about that social connection. How did this person makes you feel? So I feel like there's not too many people she's going to go home next to. I feel like the only neg, if there is one, is just the feeling that she may not be top priority. Like I said, like she has a secret alliance, but I don't know how loyal I feel Hardy is to that, and that scares me. And then you mentioned like she really doesn't have that relationship too much with Nicole. It doesn't seem like she also has like that stronger connection with Will either, and he's kind of like the head of the Chilltown side. So I think she is protected because you got Krista, who would protect her with a Chilltown alliance most likely, and even if she's on the block, Monica isn't going home. But it's just like I that would be like my only thing. Like I would like for her to be like just prioritize a little bit more with certain groups. Like I wish she did a little bit more. Like Krista and Monica, I feel like both would do good. Like just taking each other's like strategy. Like Monica needs to be a little bit more social, and Monica, I feel like no, Krista needs to be a little more social, and Monica just need to be a little bit more intentional with, I think, the relationships that she's creating with the other side. Because I feel like she has good social bonds. Like we know how clearly the Hardy connection is there, the Bunky connection with there, but it's like Nicole's at the head, and we didn't see much with that. And you got Will at the head, and we didn't see much with that. So I would want that a little bit, but just in general, like you mentioned, like I don't think that she's going anywhere for a very long time, and that's not something that a lot of people say in this house. So I'll say it's a 7 as well. Well, you said 4.5. I say 7.
I love it. How you feeling about Hardy?
I think like the scene we got, the little montage of like everyone being like, oh, like I felt that way about him, and now like he's clearly a grounded person. Krista loves him so much. Kent says he's one of her favorite people. It definitely, with people in his archetype, it's so easy for them to get invited into alliances and just get these social connections. Like an example is like Autumn. Like her even saying like initially thinking like this is my bigger brother, like she genuinely thought this man had her back and he hated her from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear that some of those connections are pretty intentional. I think that he, like Nicole, kind of takes that little moral high ground, even though he's actively playing the game, and he himself has said some pretty rude things. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's still an intentionality there that is to keep him safe in the game, and I really do like that. I also feel like, and he's HOH this week. He is taking a shot, but I also feel like even with all that good, he could be someone heavily targeted if the other side wins. The thing is, it's just such a small side. Like, I'm pretty sure he's taking out one of them this week, and when that happens, there's only going to be two of them. You know what I mean? And Hardy is so like that. Like he's. I can see him getting nominated by them, but I could also see him staying. But in the same breath, I could also see them being like, okay, maybe he could win and maybe he should go. I feel like you never really know in these older seasons because it's like he's part of a group, but he's not part of this strong alliance that's going to keep him no matter what. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, I feel like he could be more in danger of the group just because, appearances, but I don't know. I just feel like he's definitely also not going to be touched for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I'm over to 7.
I like that. Yeah, I feel good about Hardy because of the alliance he's in. His connection with Nicole is pretty strong, and he's pretty well ingratiated with this side. I feel like he has a lot of influence because he was the main one pushing Autumn. It was a unanimous vote, and the only issue is the other side. I do think will target him, but like you said, like he's fucking up the other. He's taking one of them out right now as we speak. So, well, not as we speak, but so it's like, what could they really do? Like, but it's still the idea of he's a target, and I feel like he's like clearly a threat. So even though people really like him, one, I feel like he's social, but to what capacity? Because he wasn't even nice to Autumn in her face. So I still go back to the part that a part of it is just they like him, not that he's intentionally being nice and social to these people because he wasn't nice and social to Autumn. He was mean and rude and off-putting. So it's
But
like,
it's just like it's slightly intentional. It's like him this week being like, oh, if that's why I mentioned the moral high ground thing of like him being like, I just gotta get these assholes out of here. You guys are taking me out. Like I'll follow the sword. Like I feel
yeah,
like at the
he
end of the
did say
day,
that.
you do not want to go home when they leave. Like
Yeah, he
you're
did
like
say
you know what
that.
I mean. I just like that is kind of part of strategy, and that makes me feel like
I
Hardy.
think that I do think that part is, and I do think like he's pushing because he is pushing the anti chill town sentiment a lot, and he has a lot of influence. Like I said, he's probably the one who influenced Autumn going home. I like that part. I'm not sure, especially like with the Untouchables. I know Monica and Krista are close, but there's barely scenes where he's with them. So it's like, did they just want him in the alliance because they
Right.
like him? Like Krista had a diary and she said, "I just love Hardy," and it's like you love Hardy, but like, what has Hardy really done other than be fine and not? She basically said he's fine and she loves him in the same sentence. It's like, so you love him because he's fine, and I love that. It's cute, but it's like from Hardy's point of view, it's like, damn, it's like. I wish I knew how intentional it was for him because it's hard, especially when he takes the moral high ground, because it's confusing because it's like they like you, but how much is it because you are trying, especially when you're being mean to people? So it's like confusing in my head. But I still think he's in a really good position. I don't think he's going to be targeted by anyone on his side of the house. I do think he will be targeted by the other side, but he's taking them out, and that's his only knock. Is like you could go home or you could be nominated if one of them win HOH in the slight chance, but it's so slight. So I agree with the 7. I'm gonna give him the 7 as well, to be honest. Bunk didn't get a lot of he didn't get a lot
Bunk
of
bunk.
time. He didn't get a lot of
Bunk
time,
bunk.
like airtime this episode, but or this week. But I do know Autumn going home wasn't the best for him. I feel like him and Autumn were the closest of everybody, and that's a number for him that could have stayed in the house, and she did not. It was Kent. I do think he has good relationships within his alliance, though, with Monica for sure, and with Nicole, I think so also. But it doesn't. I don't know his connection to Hardy. Like him and Hardy are very close, but I don't know how it is without it being in a group. It's kind of like a group connection. I'm wondering Bunky's like personal connections other than Monica and Nicole and Autumn who do you got? Because there's other people in this house. He doesn't seem like he'll be targeted by Chilltown, so that's really good. And he's not going to be targeted by his people, so that's really good. So I think he's safest in terms of not being targeted. I don't think Bucky will be targeted until the very end of the game, and that's really good. And I think that's because of his like positioning. I think he's really good at positioning, but because he's like not too threatening, but he's also not in the group. So I like that, but it's just like, what else? You need something else. You need an alliance. You need a friend, something. You're not even Monica's number one. Krista's Monica number one. You're not Nicole's number one. Hardy's Nicole's number one. So who's your number one? It's probably going to end up being Kent. But it hasn't happened yet. So because of that, I'll give him this. And what the fuck is a Kent? So because of that, I'll just give him the 6 again, just for positioning, really. I think he's in a really good position. But other than that, give me something.
Yeah, I agree with the 6 as well. Like my main thing I was going to say is that we really don't see like the activeness in his game. Like Monica was talking to Hardy, and that was a Monica scene. You know what I mean? Or like if we see everyone talking, or like when Hardy was mentioning the vote, Hardy went to Bunky and he was mentioning like how does he want the vote to go. Like we don't see a lot of Bunky going to people. I get the impression that he is just someone that's socially good with everyone, and unlike a Monica who was kind of in that position, he isn't like. I feel like actively and going and making people just feel that like undying like trust from him. Especially too, like I feel like he's someone similar to Kent where it's like, why don't you have any relationship with Chilltown? Really? Like they're not worried about you at all. So why are you worried about them? Like more people should be doing what Krista did, and I feel like they're so dead set on this, and I wouldn't be a dead set on it at
all. How you feeling about Krista? Speaking of the Queen, we at the Queens, y'all. Mother convention.
Yeah, I think definitely it was an interesting choice to kind of go against the house in the way that she did. Like I said earlier, I feel like it could have future implications. Like someone like Nicole who's running the game, has her position, I feel like, kind of clocked. Like it hasn't been mentioned, but the fact that she's in this kind of like fake alliance with Chilltown, she knows that Chris is playing both sides. Like people are aware of that. And I don't think that's going to be great for her long term because like I've already mentioned, like it's not like she has like this unbreakable relationship, it seems, with like a Hardy or a Nicole, and then she has Chilltown, but Chilltown is the house target. Everyone dislikes him. She's nominated Kent, and he seems like a very petty man. He is never gonna let that go. So I just feel like while she is good and no one is talking about targeting her right now, it's top 9, It's only a few more rounds. If the 3 of them do somehow go out back to back to back, I can definitely see how she would be one of the next few targets, So I don't want to knock her too much now. So I feel like it's not anything necessarily that, like I said, is just immediate at all. And then also like with this being Big Brother 2, like I'm not knocking her too much on not solidifying those stands because I think that she is just kind of going with the flow. So I'll also stick with the 7. Like I think it was a successful HOH. She's still able to occupy both sides of the house, and if either side wins, she's not going up. So I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I think it was a successful HOH too. I really like it. I like the fact that she did what she wanted. She still stayed in the middle. She kept because even if Chilltown doesn't win an HOH, it's still good that she allowed 3 buffers to make it another week. These are still 3 buffers in front of her in any scenario. So I think it was a smart decision for her to take out someone who's not in there. If you can pull it off, it's smart. And I think she pulled it off. They're not talking too much about it. And Autumn went home, and now all 3 of Chilltown are still here. And one thing I will say about her plan is Shannon did get second in the HOH. There's a world, there's a universe, there's a multiverse where Shannon wins the HOH, takes out someone else, and now there's a whole nother buffer in between her and so the plan wasn't wrong. I don't think it was a wrong plan. It's just Chilltown didn't actually win an HOH. And if they did, it would have been even better. And a lot of Big Brother is luck-based, and I feel like that just was not the best luck for Krista that Chilltown didn't actually help her that much.
Because if Chilltown started like really beasting some competitions,
which they could have. It was 2 of them in final 3 of this HOH.
Her and Monica positions would definitely skyrocket. Because the benefit of their positions is that they have some connection to the other side of the game, where a lot of people in this house are refusing to have any of any kind,
Yeah. So I really like that. I really do like that. One of my biggest issues was her connection to Hardy and Nicole. I mean, the Untouchables. We don't know yet how strong, how true it is, but the fact that it exists, I do like the fact that she has something with Hardy at least, because now it's shows me that she has a stronger connection with someone on this side of the house than it seemed. And it's like you really playing the game because not only does Chilltown think you're literally in Chilltown, you also have a Untouchables alliance with Hardy and Monica. I like her relationship to Monica. She has a duo in this side of the house that she's not even really on. Like she's playing both sides and she has a whole duo on both sides because she has a duo of her and Mike, and then it's Will and Shannon, and then she has a duo of her and Monica on this side. And it's like I think those are really really good things, and I just think like her mind is just moving at a faster pace than the other bitches here. I'm sorry, it just is.
Yeah, I think when it comes to like
good.
when it comes to like smartest players in the game, I truly feel like it is Nicole, Krista, Monica, Will.
I agree. I agree 100%. So for that, I'll just keep Monica. I mean, I'll take Monica's who I gave her 7.5, but I'll keep Krista at the 7.5. I think her position is really good. I think she's really really smart. The only reason it's not that high is because her winning HOH was risky, and I feel like her position is being uncovered because Nicole has now infiltrated a little bit of Chilltown, and her proximity to Nicole. Same thing kind of with Monica. Like your proximity to Nicole, I'm thinking about in the back of my head, bitch. You know. So I'll just keep it at the 7.5. And now we're on the head honcho herself.
HGIC definition.
Miss Butter Nicole. Now I gave her a 10 last week because it was
HMIC, head mother in charge.
Period. I gave her a 10 last week because it was arguably the best week of Big Brother gameplay ever. This week I don't think I'm gonna give it a 10, but I will say I actually did like Nicole's gameplay this week. She decided that after talking to Will, after him making that deal with her, he kind of charmed her. She's decided to start creating relationships with Chilltown. So now, one of the only people who wouldn't have gotten nominated had Shannon won this HOH, which she was close to doing, would have been Nicole because she's that girl. Because she's such a good player, she potentially prevented herself from being targeted by the opposing alliance. And it's like the reason it's impressive that Nicole's doing it versus Monica and Krista is because Nicole is the reason Chilltown is targeted anyways. Nicole made them the target, and now she's also good with them to where even though she's the reason they're targeted, they won't even take her out. They said it.
Shannon had a diary room literally saying that I would be comfortable if anyone in Chilltown wins, or even Nicole. How the fuck did that happen?
This is the thing. This is the thing, Lee. This is the thing. The reason I wasn't going to give the 10, because now I'm questioning. The reason I wasn't going to give the 10 is because I was like, this is a risky move. And I feel like her doing this, we saw the conversations about her. It was really just mainly Kent talking about how she's trying to play that other side. Oh, Hardy mentioned it too. Hardy had some words. How they were annoyed that she was trying to play the other side. She was trying to play the other side. So it made me feel like some type of way. But it's like, to me, I kind of feel like she took a risk. It's like she took a risk and she got a reward. I don't know what to tell you. It was more, to me, it kind of feels more so like, how big players make these bold moves or like just bold decisions. And it's like, girl, that's not going to work, but it works. Like Dan doing Dan's funeral and crying and trying to get somebody to use the veto on him who nominated him. Girl, shut up. That's not going to work. And then boom, it works. It's kind of like how I'm feeling here. Like, Nicole, you're trying to make Chilltown is never going to believe you're working with them. Please. Boom. Here they are.
They did.
Believe it. So she's clearly in the best position. She's clearly still mother. No side will target her. I think she's going to be very, very good. What I will say is right now, we don't know if there's going to be any backlash for her pretending to be with Chilltown just yet. Well, we do, but we don't. So I'll say I'll give her the 9 because of that. But that 10 is on the way back someday. It's gonna come back, bitch. How you feel?
Yeah, I mean, and then I'll stick with the 9 because I gave her the 9 because the move was impressive and the position she was in, and now she's taking control. Like, I love seeing a woman run the game of Big Brother. It is honestly my favorite thing ever. Like Vanessa, Tiffany, even that romantic girl, no shade. It was cute. It was cute while it lasted. I just love it. And then she really runs it with an iron fist. Like I mentioned, like everyone is going to her. Like Chilltown on their apology tour, they're all apologizing to her mainly. And then, like you just said, like she created the big target on their backs, and they're still bowing down and accepting her into their group. No questions asked. You know what I mean? It's just like, that is a mother for you. Krista's going with her and having separate conversations with her. And she has her core with Bunky and Hardy. And it's just like, I don't know. Like, if this continues, I don't know how the fuck she don't win this game. It's gonna piss me off.
It's never gonna make sense.
It's gonna piss me off.
It really is. It's never gonna make sense to me. It's honestly very interesting to watch. Like, to watch Nicole is very interesting. She should get mentioned more. She should really get mentioned more.
And that's the big thing. Like, why don't people discuss her? I feel so stupid. We did a top 10 Big Brother winning strategies video. We need to go redo that. Because
and she needs to be number one.
Nicole needs to be in this bitch. I mean, she birthed.
She's probably top 5. Like, she's just off the top, she's probably top 5, top 3. She literally birthed women's strategy in Big Brother. So wow, the fuck she won on
women's strategy, bitch. We're not about to categorize.
Oh, strategy, but you know, strategy period. Just strategy period. My bad. Y'all, I'll put this in order.
General, like, it's giving without a Nicole. There is no Amanda. There's no Vanessa. There's no Christy. There's no Tiffany. There's no
Dan. Dare I say?
Hell, is there a Will?
There's no Derek.
Is there a Will?
There's not even a Will, bitch. There's not even a Will without her.
Like, this is mother, and she's not mentioned enough. And honestly, it pisses me off. Where was her All-Stars call? Where was her BB13 call? Where was the BB14 call? Where's the BB18 call? Where's the BB All-Stars call?
Again, Lord. I think she was getting. I think she did get a call for All-Stars, and she declined.
Damn, girl, you should have. Ooh, imagine All-Stars.
Ooh, Nicole.
This bitch would have been. It would have been good. It would have been good.
Janelle would have been out. How about that?
That's the gang y'all. Janelle wouldn't have won no non-competitions that season, girl.
How about that, bitch?
Girl, all right, y'all. Would have been Nicole and Will and not Nicole and...
Please. We got them in order, y'all. Shannon's at the
y'all see this mother convention at top 3?
I was thinking the same thing. It's the mother convention at top 3. And then, you know, a wannabe mother at the bottom. Shannon is last. And then
wait. We have every woman remaining in the game top 3, and then Shannon is last.
But it's not even. It's reality.
The guy gets a Shannon 1 HOH, girl.
It's just reality. Women, the way women are playing, the women are playing the best in this game out of Shannon, and a woman didn't win is just such a fucking shame. God,
that always happened that way. All the women I just mentioned who ran the game all lost their
none of them won. That's actually sick.
Very unfortunate. A woman didn't win.
Last, Will is after her, and Mike is after her. Chilltown at the bottom. Then we got Kent flop ass, and then we actually have the people playing okay, which is Bunky, then Hardy, and then the mother convention at the top. Monica and Krista got the same score, and Nicole at the top, being mother. So that's that. And don't forget to drop that like.
Period, Sydney.
Girl. This is cute or whatever. That's week 2, y'all. Remember, if you want to get into it, y'all gotta watch the episodes. Because some of the girls was like, "Ooh, we don't forgot to watch the episodes." So
you gotta watch shit, girl. Just watch us.
You really don't have to, babe. You really don't. But week 3, we're gonna be covering on Tuesday. That's gonna be episode 8, 9, and 10. So if you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. And we'll be covering on Tuesday. Week 4 will be covering on Thursday next week. So get into that. And guess what the fuck is going on now, bitch? We have new shit coming. Because the Traders UK is out. We will be posting our Traders UK coverage on Saturday, and the Traders US is starting next week, and we will be covering that on Friday. So every Friday, Traders US, every Saturday, Traders UK. Get into that along with the Big Brother content, because there are going to be Big Brother players on the Traders. If you don't watch the Traders, I'm letting you know right now, Dan Giesling is going to be on the Traders US. That should be enough. And if it's not, you're not a man. Sorry. Nah, but for real, get into it or whatever. Get into the Traders. We're gonna be covering that. And bitch, is that it? Is. That's it. Thank you for keeping it real with the kingdom. We out.
Wow. No bars.